something there. I thought Punk was actually playing quite well when we have seen him on the Junker Queen. But if you have an opportunity where you think you can upgrade the roster and there's players from other teams that you can go out there and get, like, and that's kind of what you want to see from your team, you know, if you're a fan.
There you go, great a pull. Kalush's mustache.
In a mode where they're looking to upgrade.
Yeah, and later down the line too, Mag can, as he's traditionally known as main tech, so they have that in their back pocket, and they can also switch on Punk if there's ever like a Diva meta or like a Zarya or whatever. So yeah,
No, actually we'll call it yay or nay.
Pick up for the Boston Uprising as well. It's whether they can actually take down the shot, which doesn't seem likely, but like there's always a chance.
I wouldn't overreact. Like, if you are Boston and you're not able to come out on top here, like, you still have a pretty solid roster. You feel like you made an improvement here, you know, bringing in Mag. You also have Punk still on the team, right? So you still have him, even if Mag doesn't kind of turn out with as high as upside as you think. And there's still a few games left for them, you know, in this stage to make the tournament. The only thing is like you're seeing some performances from teams like Vancouver, where you know they may take up a tournament slot where they were never in consideration really in the past, right?
Which is just a wild thing to think about, I will say. Gee, I mean, I'm super happy for the way the Vancouver.
That last one hurt. Right as a former New Yorker, now a resident of West Canada, I felt that one.
Now a resident of West. Oh right, you just transferred your citizenship, I see, real quick off the back of the job. I can appreciate that. All right, Control, Slejean, Gardens, and same comps.
I will say, I don't think Boston's gonna win this one, but I think Victoria has looked better on the hit scan and more comfortable after the break. I think in general. And Valentine's also had a pretty good game after they beat, or when they were beating Atlanta.
As long as you're not trying to tell me that Victoria and Valentine are better than Kilo and Proper.
No. I'm stupid, but I'm not dumb. Or I'm dumb, but I'm not stupid. Whichever one's worse. I'm not that.
If the Shock lose in general, have a main support. I'm just saying.
I don't think so. I think they've been fine so far.
If they do.
I think this meta has really flipped things on its head in the league. But, I mean, it's also only been like a week. And teams are figuring things out, so I'm not entirely committed to that take.
I mean, they played Washington and Florida. Two teams I didn't really have a lot of confidence in to do anything. So,
who beat Washington and Florida?
shocked it.
True. I mean, Shocker's still a very good team, though. Very well coached.
But I don't like this support line.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have your Queen ult, you're going to have also your Sojourn ult coming in. There's no support ults on the other side. You think this is another fight
But
that
Violet has been keeping pace with
obviously,
Faith, so
you know, still dangerous with Mag going to have his ultimate up as well. But you win this fight, you start to like really get towards a point where you can take the lead.
Flying those angles with 100 charge. Like you mentioned, he's got that overclock coming up rather soon. There's the
it's not really that good of no.
Rampage hitting 3. Victorian, Faith, and the rest of the squad.
I think they're just a good team. That wasn't that great of
save your overclock for the next fight too. We've seen how crazy Sojourn is in this meta. The amount of early picks you can get is kind of cracked. And some of the reasons teams are doing so well is their Sojourn play is just above and beyond the rest.
And that fight goes so one-sided to the shot that like Boston doesn't even have an opportunity, right, to like brawl it out and then lose. going to be a rampage from Mag that connects with 3.
Yeah, pretty confident going into that fight. Then they could just speed past the bridge and hit him with the rampage.
That's pretty nice from Faith.
Sends Kilo over the edge, but the shock is
I still think Boston loses this fight, though.
somewhat.
Yeah.
Proper is still alive.
Or maybe not.
With the speed boost of Faith that Mag just
I do.
One has the heal, one has damage, and I think the damage just wins in the end.
Scrappy as ever, the
Yeah.
You don't really need heal with Junker Queen.
Yeah.
10% to go. And Blade, Rally, B coming up.
Yeah, now you're in lots of trouble if you're the Boston Uprising. You're not going to get another shot at these DPS ultimates, most likely. You're going to have a rally. You're really worried at this point who is going to touch. It looks like you're going to get a touch from Valentine to trigger a...
Yeah, he just get knifed though, unfortunately skewered. Blade still activated, he pulls it. And I mean, that's just round over. Not much else you can really do. San Francisco shock and quote support ultimates coming into that fight. MCD at the rally at the very end. And the Boston Uprising's hopes for round number 1 cut quite short, like mine and Matt's height.
Well, you can also see why people have been kind of talking about calling in Jones and Harry. Like,
Yeah.
once you start to get the ultimates rolling in your favor, and you can start to turn these fights over pretty fast and dominant matches, and really just kind of lead the other team out. When teams are about even, that's kind of all. It also resembles that composition where fights go for an extended period of time. Because, you have the shout, which is like an AOE speed, also burst heal. You have both the Lucio's auras for whether it's the speed or the healing, and then you also get the Brig in position to just trigger Inspire constantly, where the fights just last forever in that neutral, and both teams are pretty even in terms of ults.
I think this meta has really shown so many funny aspects of Overwatch, like the Colosseo game with the shock, 2.5 minute plus without a single
Oh,
kill.
well.
Like this.
There goes Proper. There goes Victoria.
Headshots, but yeah, I mean the stalling is just insane.
You can just keep the stall going for a while. Look at this. So we're kind of opening up really similarly to last round. They're not totally secured yet. Boston off to a pretty good start. We'll see if they can get control of the point. Obviously going to have to shock off that, but Proper gets
I'm kind of sad we haven't been seeing Sam as much,
MCD, as a lot of your healing goes in that.
especially with the Genji meta.
In amongst that fight, Boston Uprising were trying to
It's just not going to be a meta he can play in.
try and touch that point before we end up capping.
But Sam is Genji player.
It's go again for Boston.
But not better than Proper.
Proper dies less, does less damage. Sam dies more, does more damage.
fights of this meta. Not
It's-
No player who dies less than no player who dies.
because you
that
kind of
dies
get into like a
does
little
more
bit of
damage.
a how that's going to go. Neutral fights. How can a team get that advantage?
What if that player stays in spawn?
Position and really start to just rack up the Inspire and the auras.
I mean, is Proper in spawn?
No, but you've also got to go out. We've talked about this with tanks. You've got to go out and make your own plays, make your own opportunities. And I'll always take and going in and being aggressive, even if you die more. But that still signals to me that you're trying to make plays. I'd rather take a player that tries to make plays than one that doesn't. Because I don't know if Proper. I think. Well, no, I don't think he makes his own opportunities. I think Proper does a really good job of taking advantage of the opportunities that come up. But I don't know if he's actively making the opportunities.
He does.
I think he just takes
Maybe
the
not on
opportunities.
Genji. I will say maybe not on Genji, but on
Sh-
Tracer and Sojourn and stuff.
Yeah,
he does.
yeah.
He really makes opportunities.
Yeah, because you aim. You aim, no brain, you a Widow main. Not that Proper doesn't have a brain, that's just a meme.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's no way you ever take out Proper here. Proper is just always going to be in on the lineup. So it's just unfortunate because the other character is Sojourn and Kilo.
Well, you could also just put Proper on Sojourn and then put Sam in.
You could, but I'm wondering if the drop off from Proper Sojourn to Kilo Sojourn is less than the Proper Genji and the Sam.
Who knows? I mean, to be fair, Kilo is really good. I'm also surprised we haven't heard from Calvin. Calvin, you're a resident shock expert. Would you like to tune in?
I just because this is a situation where I get kind of what you mean, but also he'll play in another stage. I know he will because they're all just really
Clean there.
They are.
I think you're going to see
Yeah, because I actually am surprised I saw Sam as much as Cap. It tells me there is a niche there for Sam with certain things like the echo and stuff that they really want him to play.
Mhm.
So he has his like little.
Back found some nice openings on round number 1, but yeah, it went the Shock's way in the end. They clean 2-0.
All right. Give me the Defiant game. And we're buffering. Let's go. Greater Australia. And the card's license plate says shrapnel. Never noticed that before, to be honest. Oof. Oh, London announced 1 hour ago, welcome, Khan. So Khan has been picked up by the London Spitfire. Wait, Bad Patch Amari said, oh my god! Diamond. Diamond? Or, hello? Anyone? Is anyone else here? The current Overwatch League standings for the West, the top 3 teams are as follows. Are you ready for this? It is the Vancouver Titans at number 1, followed by the San Francisco Shock at number 2, and then Toronto Defiant at number 3.
What are we going on about?
So for the Summer Showdown qualifiers, the top 3 teams currently are the Vancouver Titans at number 1, the San Francisco Shock at number 2, and the Toronto Defiant at number 3.
Wait, whose ranking is that?
The Overwatch League. This is for the Summer Showdown.
Yeah, they're really smart. That's a good ranking, I'll be honest.
This isn't power rankings. This is like as of like the start of the Summer Showdown. Like this is like the actual like points, like win losses.
Yeah.
And then so Chalk and Titans are both tied for number 1. Defiant and Dallas are tied for number 3. And then next you have Washington, followed by London, and then Houston. And then in the bottom three. So, dead last, currently, is, no surprise, the Paris Eternal. Number 2, the Atlanta Reign. And this is beautiful. And just remember, I'm only speaking straight facts. The LA Gladiators at number 11. They are third last in the summer showdown.
To stay through for the end of the season. This was actually my power rankings going into the season. I'm glad to see it finally.
You should honestly, what's it called? Just do your pick'ems based on these standings.
Yeah, that's what I plan to do.
Like it's only been like 1 week and not even a full day. You know, this is definitely the way things are gonna stay. And
yeah, no, that means we have a good trend. We have a trend of over 7 days.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be reliable data.
Yeah, we're on like 7 days and like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
No,
over 7 days.
Yeah, exactly. Over 7 days.
The numbers are massive. She does tons of damage up close with the axe and the shotgun and like her knives, whether it's right. Just you're gonna see Queens put out a ton of damage in a lot of these games. I think you've seen that so far this stage.
Yeah, I feel like that's why a lot of DPS players are pretty good at Mirror, for example. Mirror, very good example after that last match. Dante, of course, who could forget? And there's a reason why he put on the Doomfist too, was a DPS here and then switched over to tank. Oh, I do want to correct something real quick. Scott was confused, and as always, Scott is 70% right. This is the San Francisco Shock's 7th game, or like their 18th game. And if they win here, they'll be 18 wins in a row, and that's one before Titans. So Titans.
All right. Oh, we get Hollywood again.
If the Shock win here,
I appreciate Scott though, just like, you know what? I think I know this, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna tell people it's 70% true.
I mean,
he was about right.
yeah, if you say anything with enough confidence, people will believe you're right. I mean, that's just how Johnny's got this
That's
far.
how you got here.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, that's also true. Not a colour cast this year, thankfully, so I don't have to be right about anything, actually. All right, Hollywood is the map, and False Start Rising on the defense. No surprise, no comp changes. Although I did expect maybe some teams running on the Ash on the defense, holding up on the FA, but Sojourn's still really good at this.
Alrighty.
I think like the Ash like maybe on the high ground, especially on the defense here, right? Because like the effective range of Ash is really good. But I think the thing with Sojourn is we see Crawford get that first kill, just getting killed with trade in here. Boston just rushes up the stairs. I think the thing with the Sojourn that's so interesting is like, look, she's got great mobility, right? Like
Kilo does trade Victoria though at the end of that fight.
the thing that's really like
That'll be pretty good.
know how charged her real
Because now Shock can just come in and win.
she is to go after in a way to where she can really be punishing, and I think catches people off guard a ton with being able to land like rail shots and just like instant kills when people don't expect that to happen whatsoever.
There goes Mag.
Man, Bob was going on these wild flanks. No, not even flanks, really. He's just off to the side, and then when anybody gets pulled in, he just goes for a dash on top of it. Nice little team kill there. Shock, they'll be able to claim the point. Yeah, the disruptor shot too, I will say that. The chokes. It slows people down, but it also, the AoE damage is kind of nuts. Because you're fighting the end ball anyway, it racks up damage like pretty fast.
You see Boston though right there, right? They kind of like, you know, we usually talk about Overwatch in terms of like fights, right? They kind of win that first one, but like it never actually ends
Fight
because
one must
everybody
have
gets
been
back
pretty
so
fast.
And like the next
Fight one? Fight one, Boston won, and then but Shock got a departing pick on Victoria, so literally 2 seconds later they came back in before Victoria had even respawned.
Yeah, a beat from Violet, though. Going to push proper forward. He's not scared any longer. Goodbye, Mag. MCD's rally. Yeah, rally's
I know they want to try out Mag and go like full Korean, but like Boston just looks so much better with Punk.
You really need that beat. And a nice heads-up play from the shot there. Beating in with proper to make sure he actually gets some value winning this fight and taking the high ground.
How brutal is it in your opinion? Like when the other team is a Genji that's like popping off in this type of meta, like wait, who's even proper right now? I almost feel like it's like devastating for Boston. Like there's no, because if you can't just deal with proper and like you have to look for him everywhere, you're just getting run down by the Queen, Lucio, and Sprig.
same domination. Kilo used that disruptor shot to good effect, but it is feet, so Valentine had a bit of a tougher time actually getting to him and one-shot him. And in fact, it basically wasted the whole blade on one kill. You'll take that any day of the week if you're the San Francisco Shock, and use your beat in the last fight. So, yeah, not a problem at all. Now they're going to just assault the high grounds. There's the beat from Faith, though, pushing them forward and pushing Shock off. The payload's been moved quite a distance, mind you, but this should just be the cleanup. Nice double kill from Victoria's right flank. But yeah, I will say, Matt, with if the enemy Genji in the
Not bad, a little triple kill for Victoria.
like your Genji or like your other DPS to such an extent,
Getting kills on the break, right? Like, you seem properly.
Yeah,
It
it
feels just like, dash right through and take out the break. And what do you do at that point? Like, you're not going to engage, like, but you also just don't have the ability to back up. You're just kind of like stuck up there. Proper's been so good at doing that. And I actually think those kills by Victoria were massive there, just to buy them some more time. Because if he doesn't pick up those kills, we're going to Kilo come back in the fight here with his ultimate. That's going to be Mag with a nice rampage.
yeah, Mag only got one. It was Kalush, but they do manage to focus him down. Looked like a small boop, but he hit his little head on one of those wooden columns. But Boston Uprising still coming up big. Kalush hit two with his rampage to put it into perspective, but Mag, even though with the boop, managed to get more value. Boston Uprising have that rally for the next fight to manage it. But speaking about the Genji, man, the Lucios and their ability to build beat, like, it really does separate the best Lucios from the Lucios that are like pretty okay, because the beat charge rate is just so important. Like, the ultimate is just so important in these fights. If you have it quicker, the tempo you can set is unreal.
It's one of the more interesting things with Shout, right? It's and I think we've all talked about like how the heal works, but it's just another character that can provide speed, right? Where like it gives Lucio a little bit more options on how he'd like to use his aura. He's typically just been kind of like on purpose speed duty.
Feels pretty early, Lucio. Yeah, double rally. Shock used the rally to push the cart forward. Now Boston Uprising jump on top of them with a rally of their own, but Proper with the blade in the back. MCD's the perma target if you're Proper right now, and he's doing an amazing job executing it. Boston Uprising, however, stalled out for a fair amount of time. Shock only had a minute coming into this second point, as they do end up capping. So you don't need to be happy with that if you're the Boston Uprising. Long corridor.
Big stretch. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Kalush is a pretty good Junker Queen.
It's got to be so weird for Kalush and Mag. Like, hey, we played against each other last week, but now we're doing it again. Like, wait, what? You also notice that the Shock, they combo the rally with the beat there in the blade. And they know that's almost like a guaranteed fight win, right? So they get the card over the line.
Jesus. Wow. Proper and Kilo. That was alright. That was a fight. It happened, I think. Quick team kill. Boston Uprising don't use ults though.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't really like use any ultimates, like try and like maybe like not invest like incredibly heavily, right? But like maybe you go with the overclock there, right? You try and get a pick or two that you can kind of hold there for a little bit. Because my fear for Boston is you come into like this next fight, you use like 2 or 3 of these ultimates. The Shock, they just kind of like concede the fight, they drag it out to build some more ultimates, so they come back with overclock blade, rampage. They come back with everything, right?
As Blade, Valentine already got moved away, still has the dash though, straight to the back. He's still got it in his back pocket. Perfect persistence and perfect patience there from Valentine, following that slash up with a dash and waiting for all of those boops to come out before he jumped on top of Kilo. 60 seconds to go, and the Boston Uprising have a really good chance here, Matt, of defending at this point 3.
Yeah, Kalush has to get a big rampage here in the end and have Proper go crazy with the blade. He's not going to have the benefits of the beat, though. They will have rally here. Boston, they're going to opt to play this really close. Double rally, overclock from Kilo, trying to snipe people out. It's going to be tough. That overhelp's building up, but an unreal ult from Kalush. His Mag and Victoria. Mag was already pretty low. He needed heals, but didn't get it before he got antis. Victoria with some heroics, maybe, popping an overclock of his own, but Proper quickly shuts it down with a blade. A double kill for the Genji, and the San Francisco Shock pushing Boston all the way to spawn. Boston do have that rampage coming out. A Mag's going to throw it in, but a nice little boop. It doesn't quite get enough space before Mag touches the point, but
It stops it in its tracks almost. It only managed to get proper at the end of it. The San Francisco Shock going to end this with a sound barrier, as the Uprising don't have any support ultimates to try and hold on to this point. Overtime though for Boston, not too shabby whatsoever.
Considering where we were at the end of point A, right, where they had like 4 minutes, the Shots get that checkpoint B, to dwindle all of that clock down, albeit they're still able to complete. You got to take that if you're the Boston Uprising. The Boston Mag. Don't know how long he's been there. Don't know how long he's been able to practice, or how much he's been able to practice with the team, right? But being able to go toe to toe with a team like San Francisco, you got to feel pretty good about it here if you're Boston.
Yeah, thinking about how long he's been with the team, unless he finished his game, he already had his bags packed, and then he goes straight to the airport, you know, just to jump on the flight. He hasn't had a lot of time at all.
There we go.
So far against a undefeated San Francisco Shock, finishing an OT.
Alrighty.
Small replay, what's this going to be? Oh yeah, proper shutting down Victoria's overclock. Spotted out a mile away. Would have been a nice overclock if you got a good angle there from Victoria, but proper a little bit quicker with his overclock.
Just seems like he gets so much value out of the blades every single time. I think the Shock do a fantastic job of cycling their ultimates and have a really great read on what Boston's going to have available at times. Obviously what they kind of use against that. So we are going to see Kilo on the Ash here on defense. Something we were both talking about. The first half where maybe you can make use of the Ash here on defense. The sight lines really good for Ash here. Good dynamite opportunities right from the high ground, like really easy to hit.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. If you have to back up too, just hide in the cafe, just throw dynamites and choke over and over again. And Kilo and Proper doing what they do best and just look at this. I mean, the damage even Violet's getting out is kind of insane. Someone look at him, maybe he's 20 HP. No, gets healed up with a pack. That was, yeah, it felt like you had the Harry Potter invisibility clip there for a second.
Yeah, that's one where he is crouching directly behind. He's like using the car as cover, but also like he's just like standing behind Mag.
Mag, please turn around. I mean, this is what Proper and Violet have been doing for the last few games in this meta, was just holding down an angle as a duo. And in fact, Valentine and Faith are going to try and do the same thing, but Proper a little bit better than Valentine in this instance, and they just get run over. Maybe they can try and make that work again.
Poor Victoria.
He has been insane here in this series so far on the Genji. I feel like he's like every series he's just so consistent. You just hope he doesn't ruin like the awards, right? With like Rookie of the Year, MVP, like it just gets for the well.
Doubles down, gets bow. I mean, hey, some people say it shouldn't happen, but if he keeps up this performance and everything it should, one kill with the blade, nice deflect. This man's game sense too is kind of out of this world. I don't know. This is definitely a talk for another time, Matt, but has Proper been a player, that a rookie, that has stood out the most of any other rookie in any of the seasons? It's definitely a talk we can have later, maybe on the desk or maybe on
that's
the
a tough
podcast
one.
of sorts. It's hard to say, right? You'd have to
We've
look back
obviously
throughout
had
how
some,
many years of Overwatch.
yeah, and we've had some tremendous like rookie performances. I'd also say like as the Shock here, just gonna spawn camping Boston, coming from the high ground here.
Boston might finally get. This is a close fight though.
With one left click, that was pretty nasty. Proper now he just needs to deal with Finn and Proper, but Proper is still alive. By the way, Proper, yeah, he's still killing people, and they almost spawn capping as a duo. Not sure how that works. Maybe just the fear instilled within the Uprising after seeing Proper in the lobby. The
Shock might, yeah, they're gonna be able to hold this.
How good Proper has been, like, it just puts, I think, more pressure on them to win, right? Like, you can have this incredible rookie season, right? But if you don't win tournaments and, the state finals and playoffs, like, how much does it really matter, like, just kind of regular season accolades?
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, the San Francisco Shock right now is...
There's the Bob.
Boston Uprising.
This is not great for Boston right now, Joe. This is, though. Yeah. Let's just say they have no ultimates going into this next fight. You may have a rampage
3. Give him the full hold.
To give Boston like a little bit of benefit of the doubt here, right?
Yeah, you've got Rally, you've got Rampage, and all Boston is going to have is Rampage. And Kilo can possibly get Bob this team fight.
It's going to take time to like get their decision making down with everybody else. So, yeah, like this is just a really tough draw for the Boston uprising in this match.
It really is, yeah.
There it is.
Shock is so scary.
They are.
I mean, they can get close to the point. They can get close.
I mean, Boston is no Gladiators, so I mean, there's a chance Gladiators win. But maybe Gladiators goes 1-3 for the first 2 weeks. I say 1-3 because you guys probably beat us.
Yeah, and then we play Paris next, and then find a show in Atlanta. So we're probably gonna go at minimum 3-3.
Yeah.
But happy now?
Oh yeah, true. I actually, because you guys picked up Happy, I think I ended up giving you guys the Shock their first loss tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a big event.
I think it will be. Well, I don't know. I think Happy's better than Kilo for sure.
Yeah. That
Um,
doesn't mean I don't still think it won't be a very close game.
It may be. But I don't know. I think Happy can really bring a lot of value to your team and maybe make it a 3-1 for you guys.
I think what you're forgetting to count in is that Kilo is way cuter than Happy is. So
Right, but what you're forgetting to count in is that I only speak facts.
Can we just all agree that Happy is just hot as hell?
yeah, I chose my word very carefully there.
I know. I'm just saying, like, dude, he has tattoos. Like, I'm
Wait,
just saying,
I don't-
Happy's actually.
Is that what you look for in a
I
guy?
actually never know
Ink?
what Happy
No,
looks like.
but like, I don't know. Tattoos can be attractive as hell.
True. I'm googling what Happy looks like. Okay,
Calvin,
so when
I can't
Google
believe.
Happy,
Yeah, sorry, go on.
when I Google Happy OWL, I get Happy Owls, which is not entirely helpful.
Wait! I want to see what these look like.
They look very happy, man.
Do they?
Yeah. They look so happy.
They do look so happy. I need to share this with stream. Where is it? I can go desktop. Nope, that ain't the right one. But if I do that, and then I go display capture, that's not it.
You'll get it someday, Chief.
I will. No, that's not the right one. Hold on, I'm gonna figure this out. I can do this.
Okay, there's not a lot of pictures of Happy.
No, display capture.
But I found one. So,
That's not the right one.
I like Ans's tattoos. I don't know
On-
where Happy is.
But Ons isn't as like wide as Like Happy's not as wide without being fat. Like he's got a good shoulder length.
Yeah, I can't see Happy's tattoos in the picture. I found.
But-
Well,
I
we'll
have-
stick with this for now. I've given up on showing stream Happy Owls. No. Actually, fuck it. I can do this. I will figure this out.
Nope, you're not capable, man.
I'm so capable. I'm the most capable person you know.
Oh yeah, that is a cool tattoo. I still like
There we
Ans's
go.
more, but it's nice.
This is the Happy Owls.
Nice, man. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, aren't you? No, it's not. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now we have Happy Owls. Look at them. So cute. Just the cutest. Happy Owls. And on a scale from 1 to 10, Happy Owls are a 10. This owl has a thumb, and I'm not sure if I should be concerned or not.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Why did this owl... Like, I know it's the same type of owl from the Guardians of Gahul, like that owl movie. The animated one.
Yeah.
But this one also has like the same facial expressions that that owl had. So I'm saying this is the exact owl that was written about in the original book that made it into the movie.
For sure.
Yeah.
No doubt.
No doubt. There we go.
What better time to show off your artistic talents than this summer? Showdown, share your art celebrating.
Hey, Calvin, I can't believe you haven't voted in my poll on whether or not you like Kalush's new mustache.
Yeah, but then I have to like open up Twitch and my poor computer.
It's not Twitch, it's YouTube. It's amazing, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I still have to open something, you know? Which is very hard. Almost as hard as I am.
You know, I don't like saying, you know, they can do it, they can win. It's definitely the biggest.
Oh yeah, okay, so when I looked earlier, your stream thing was gone.
Unlucky. But you get to see my gorgeous face, so try not to get a stiffy. Try not to pop a stiffy.
Well, I was just looking happy and on so.
Well, I mean, they're not me, you know?
True. True, and they thank their parents every day for that.
They do.
Just looking happy and on so. God, my voice. Okay.
You have a magical voice.
I don't remember what Kalush's mustache looks like.
It was just there on the stream. Not my stream, the Overwatch League stream.
So many tabs.
This is very important science that we're doing here, or sociology. I don't know.
Very important.
This is very.
Oh God, now my voice. I don't need to hear that.
Sorry, man. Get fucked, then.
How about you get fucked yourself?
I plan on it.
States, I was like, hell yeah, it's sunny all the time, I can't wait, it's gonna be great. And then you reach like the height of summer, I was like, what a man.
Somebody's gotta like take all of these together and put them in like some kind of like mix. Just create a song out of all the players.
Who knew Overwatch League players were so musically talented?
Also on defense, they're gonna play close to the spawn. Nothing too surprising here. Do we see Proper stay on the Hanzo? Do we see him go back to the Genji? Like, I mean, you could play Hanzo here, right? For just maybe get a kickoff off the spawn, but oh, he's so good. That looked like
Well, there goes that. There we go. Set Shocker out of spawn. That did not take long.
Yikes, that's not great. I think it's one of those times you don't really expect, and then you've already shot all of your bullets. And then I think
I think if you kind of like slow it down, I think the bullets were coming in as Proper was in the spawn, swapping from Hanzo to Genji, and then just like appeared in the same position as Genji and hit it straight away. Yeah,
that was very silly. I mean, it's kind of sad to spawn hold at this point. At least get a couple of fights here. When the Sigma comps are a thing, you would either take 2 fights in the first corner and then fight on the last. But a lot of teams just held it on this last corner before this point.
There goes Victoria. That was pretty good from Proper. That's a 5K. That's an ace. All 5 final blows.
He's a freak on the sticks, man. This map, I think, really evened out once you got the Sigma comps out of it. Like, there's not really a great opportunity for Boston to hold like high ground here, and when the other team kind of has it rolling in the neutral, right, with the way the Shock do right now.
I don't know why teams aren't running the Sigma comp on Circuit Royale still. I feel like that still works.
You're just gonna get ran at. What are you talking about?
Just go Widow, click heads, and rock them. Easy.
If you just get ran at, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
W.
But how about? But if you can just get ran at, you can also just not get ran at. You know.
Or
You
better
actually
get done than
can't, because you have no way to run away.
Diamond. What if while they're running at you, you just click all of their foreheads?
But you
Exactly.
can't, because they have 100 extra HP, so you're not one-shotting.
Yeah, but what if you did though?
Yeah. What if you did?
You literally can't.
But what if you did?
If they did,
Yeah.
Then they would be hacking.
No.
which winners hack, right? Hackers win, you know.
That's the right response, Calvin. That's the right response.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough. That's my motto.
You don't want it bad enough, for sure.
Yeah.
Then why do you troll instead of cheat, Fracture?
What do you mean? Maybe I am cheating. Maybe I'm making sure the enemy team wins.
You're fucking really bad at
Because I'm on their team. I'm on the enemy
You're
team.
win trading, man.
I'm goated with that. I'm goated on this. I'm goated with the sauce.
You are going to find yourself really far behind, especially if you lose that fight for the rest of the game. So you have to be really careful here how they play this.
Kilo popping the overclock. Victoria doing the same. There's the rampage, but this time from the uprising. It's going to be fairly decent. Hits both Kalush.
No way.
That was a nice deflect.
Yeah.
Oh, in the middle of the wait, what?
That's just too good. Go on, proper 1v4, you won't? No, he won't. He's going to back off. That was a disgusting reflect there. Anyway, can this just turn into a replay stream? We just
He's like moving backwards. I think he had jumped off of the high ground here and reflected headshot, I think, right back at him. It's gonna be a rally in the cinematics from the shot.
It is where you see those. Only the cinematics. There's the blade. Mag in a lot of trouble. He's already gotten one. Commanding shout gives that blade so much extra speed. You don't end up going down because of all the extra health. Shock end up capping at the second point. After what was it, like a 1 minute and 30.
You know what this is? Drunker Queen is just like on release Brig, but in tank mode. I mean, Brig was also a tank back then, so I mean, yeah, just on release Brig.
I feel as if people, like, we talk about how good progress is, and people are just like, oh, well, they may just not have anything else to talk about, but it's like, no, he's just really, he's just insane to watch. I mean, he does stuff that, like, every game, that would be, like, the ultimate highlight of somebody else's, like, career. I feel like he just won, like, every single series. But that one was just crazy. I'm still just like, what happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. More replays, please. I wouldn't mind at all. The shot capper beats. They've got Overclock coming out. They've got the rampage.
Also giving up a lot of
double
space
support
here.
ultimate. They are, but they got double support ult, so you might as well bait him in with the rally, right? Okay, there's the ult. Survive's going to respond in with a beat. Mag stepped way too far forward, and the face beat just a fraction of a second too late. They do end up trading.
Alright, let's full cap the shock. Let's go.
Fading away from both support ultimates from the Boston Uprising is Kilo trying to go for a duel with Victoria. He's missed a lot of shots, and Victoria getting kept alive by MCD's packs and Fade using that healing aura. Kilo's overclock didn't really find all too much, and the Boston Uprising going to be able to hold on this corner, waiting for Mag to come back. But now they've got to be scared. Kalush with the rampage. He's rounding that final corner.
I was gonna say it's like a prime opportunity for him to use a rampage, right? There's no support ultimates on the other
Hello,
side.
everyone,
Maybe players want to play a little bit far out of it, but you just sacrifice it in such a rough spot.
Hit on a flying Lucy. Yeah, you have to touch the point, but you also don't want to be sat in the rampage. Rampage only hits one, but it's a good target to hit. MCD glowing bright purple as Valentine pulls the blade. Victoria's also found a kill onto Kilo. Remember, the Boston Uprising do have better spawns here, so as long as Mag and MCD end up staying alive, they might be good. Got to be careful, as Proper does have that blade and Finn with the run.
In a rally, yes, you're going to have rally plus the blade. So they've been comboing a lot with the sound barrier and the blade, but this time try and get the card over the line. See where they decide to come from. Looks like they're waiting for Kalush to get back in the fight. And Kilo just put down some damage after see how they decide to play this. I mean, probably like front line.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You got the blade. They're too scared of you. Straight to the spawn doors. Oh, he gets taken out by a bash from MCD, but I mean, all the focus from the Uprising was on Proper as Kalush was just tearing them apart. The Boston Uprising lose their Genji, and now it's only Fate to touch the point. He's moving people away, doing a little bit of damage. MCD's going to come in, trying to whack people with his flail, but it's not enough. A minute and 10. So for the Shock as they complete the search.
It sounds crazy to say, like, I don't think Boston, like, obviously with the way the series has looked, the Shock have been dominant throughout, but I wouldn't exactly say that, like, it's because Boston has played bad. I just think the Shock have just looked on another level today. Like, the ultimate usage from the supports on Boston has been fine, right? You know, maybe not the same level of, like, Genji play, but where in the league are you gonna find the same level of Genji play as, like, proper? And you're also kind of looking at Boston through the lens of they're incorporating a new tank into the mix, right? In the first game that played, where, you know, a series like this from Boston's probably good enough to beat a bunch of other teams in the league. Just not the Shock, man, as they look unbelievable right now.
I mean, the peel for MCD was nice at the end. Kalush hit him with the Rampage. You're thinking, well, that's an easy kill, especially on a Brig, but Faith booping people away, using the speed to get MCD out of there, making sure the fight is prolonged so the spawns can come in. So, yeah, I mean, I'd agree. I think Boston Uprising in general, they looked a lot better in this meta, a lot more comfortable, regardless of tank. Oh, here's the replay on the reflect. Oh, I mean, come on, bro. Like, that is just stupid. Like, through the trees, too. He do be kind of crazy. I kind of see what Victoria was trying to do, though. He's trying to time the end of the reflect, which can be quite tough. So,
Proper hit in the tree.
Proper did camouflage himself in the tree, yeah.
Playing some Warzone all there. He's out there tonight.
He's got the ghillie suit on.
Yeah, he's got the ghillie suit. Like, always
what you
like,
got
Call of Duty staple. Because whenever anybody's got a ghillie suit skin on there, dude. Those are the people you charge now. You're like, that guy, dude, you charge him down. Boston Upright, I think the Shock looked like these two at the beginning, though. Look at this. Little fight win.
Yo, true and real. Yeah, Max standing up tall.
Diamond question.
See if they can have the same effect on this
Diamond?
last corner.
Diamond.
He does ult charge, damn. 54 to 20%.
Coco Melon.
Nutty.
This next fight is huge, though, right? If you win this, if you're Boston, depending on where it kind of kicks off, and really with how much space the Shock can give you, like, it's pretty much going to be a fight for that first checkpoint.
Yeah, speaking about ult charge, Victoria sentences Kilo to death over and over again. Nice little kill onto Fit. The San Francisco Shock not expecting this aggression from the Boston Uprising. They do end up killing Mag, which is a big pick for San Francisco. But can they actually capitalize on it? There's a little
Diamond, are you still here?
Boston Uprising. Victoria is going to pop that over block as Collusion ends up going down.
Where does she go?
Running that first point. Okay.
A little bit like what I was saying, they're playing well enough.
Gotta refill the ice cream, man.
Apparently. I could go for some ice cream, actually. That'd be nice.
Going like, you know, 20, 25 or 30 and 0 like every map. Like this series probably could be super close. Because Boston, with adding a new tank, has looked quite good and coordinated today.
Yeah, doing it another team. It's looking pretty decent so far. All right, what a shot having a little goodie bag. They have a beat, but they have a play, they have a rally coming up. But it's all about Valentine's Blade here. Ideally, you just stall out for a bit of time to gain both support ultimates. You can kind of grasp where Shock are also on that scale. Normally, both support squads are going to get their ults around the same time. Just the output of damage from Violet is kind of insane for a Lucio. There's the early rally from MCD, trying to push forward. The Shock still trying to kite back, maybe waiting for Finn's ultimates to come back up. It's proper with the play, straight to the back, doing a lot of damage, but a beat in kind for Faith to keep them up and alive. And now even a rally from Finn. Valentine pops a blade of his own, does get booped back, but still holding on to that dash. Kilo hasn't got any mobility left, and he hasn't got legs either. The San Francisco Shock pushed far back, but Finn still manages to come up with a kill on MCD. A random flare from across the map ends the Break's life. I think this is defendable now if you're the San Francisco Shock. A good rampage from Mag, and Shock still managing to test, but they're on their last limbs. Valentine picks up proper off the back of the kill on Violet, and the Boston Uprising doing a fairly good job staggering their support ultimates and just waiting for the Shock to trickle onto the point. And they cap point B with 4 minutes and 30 to spare, man.
lightning fast time, and kind of look on for the shock. You have the rampage coming in. You have your overclock. You're gonna need to get really great value out of both of those ultimates. Like, I mean, maybe ideally you'd probably just like to use one of them in this next fight. Give yourself like almost like 2 fights with those ultimates to stop the bleeding, so to speak. As Boston really taking it to him on the offensive side of things.
It definitely feels good for Boston uprising. I like the hold here from Boston, just holding this high ground. Victoria's sitting so far away that if Shock want to kind of extend to try and stop him, the rest of the uprising can converge on his position and help him out. However, this is the corner that is the most painful. You really just have to get Victoria set up and get him a kill. Both overclocks coming out now, just looking at the kill feed to see if a Sojourn has killed somebody just yet, but doesn't look like Kilo or the rest of the Shock are willing to beat Victoria, rather wise, but Boston Uprising getting a lot of free cart push.
And interesting, I wonder if the Shock thought that there was going to be a commitment from the Boston Uprising there, because Kalush had used the shout really early. Now he's going to go in around the corner with a rampage, and that is a good one. Connects with 4 players, trying to grab Mag in. Going to take him out, as that's going to be a fight win for the Shock.
Yeah, that was massive from Kalush. Dude, it feels like so many sections.
Oh, and we're on to spawn camping again. Okay.
The range in which like the rampage hits, right? It's way bigger than I think one would expect. So when the rampage happens in a hole, you're going to connect with just about everybody.
Early beat from Fake here as Proper still holding on to that blade. Kilo just was that a collab from Kilo, or was that just 2 quick headshots? Not sure. Not sure. Regardless, though, spawn camp for the Shock. San Francisco spawn camp. MCD's going to come on something big. Well, I mean, you build up rally, but you're just wasting a lot of time. Time X still pretty large, but the payload's moving back. I mean, it kind of blows. Oh, there's Shock. Okay. Back all the way.
This is odd.
Okay, quick engage. Demanding shout. Blade pulled by Proper. His target is Mag. Kalush takes him out, earns Proper a reset. MCD also falls. No rally invested from the Boston. Wow, that was a hefty right click there from Proper. No rally invested from MCD to start off the fight. So Proper has been able to get a lot of free value on the play. There's no shot. Matt is disconnected. Am I cursed to just disconnect my color casters? Not sure. Not sure. There's the beat from Phylon. Rally from MCD. Start out the fight, but you can see that overhealth's already disappeared. Valentine gets a nice 2-man dash and a kill onto Proper. Kalush is pretty low, and Mag with a nice bit of focus fire is going to help take him out. However, look at where the San Francisco Shock is still playing. They're going to start up that run.
Shocker still spawn camping. Oh boy.
You can take that any day of the week.
Oh, Calvin, are you enjoying this game?
Yeah, I am laser focused, man. My jaw is dropping.
I'm glad. I'm glad someone is.
900 IQ from Shock. See if Mag can come in up with something big. Oh, Matt's back. Hello, Matt.
Yeah, and we're down to like 45 seconds on the clock, right? This one has to be huge for Mag. Yeah, it connects with 3. Good.
I was gonna rampage from Mag, but Shock just come up with the kills. How do they do it?
They're just better.
Yeah. I should try that.
Mag is so 2019, you know, or 2021, or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one. Well, maybe 2020.
Does feel bad as the rampage. You're gonna have to use the sound barrier right here, right now. Hits 5, and you see the Boston Uprising just trying to navigate themselves around the San Francisco Shock to get back to the payload. Faith and Kilo end up going down as MCD is closing in on this rally. A couple of packs and he might just get it, but not before the San Francisco Shock can dispatch with the rest of the Uprising. MCD gets the rally. Not this time, unfortunately. And the Boston Uprising end up going down. San Francisco.
And there we go, a clean 3-0 for the Shock.
Clean and convincing.
It's a dominant win for the Shock, and I think it's just really down this through the lens of like a brand new tank with, you know, what, maybe 2-3 days of like practice. So I think for Boston, I think you're going to see much better performances, you know, as the Summer Showdown goes on.
Yeah, still early days for the mag look at the squad for the Boston.
I will be back. I need to use the bathroom.
Happy about, especially if Circuit Real point A and B of that one. But shock, they're still doing 15-0, only a couple of games away from breaking that Vancouver Titans record of old. Let's have a look at the player of the match, and if you can guess it right, you deserve a round of applause. But it should be pretty easy. It is going to be a proper on the Genji.
It's like
thought it.
It's like boring giving him player of the match, but it's also just a disservice not to give him player of the match because he's so good. Like this series in particular, like how many times did we see him on the Genji, like able to pick up like 3-4 kills, like sometimes not even with ults, right? You think back to Circle Royale, like the one that we showed, like the 5K, where he's able to pick up the entire team, no Dragon Blade or anything, just dash resets. He is just a tremendous player, really making. You know, as big of impact on the league in the first year as like any player we've seen.
Yeah, and that's, I would love to open that kind of conversation. Has Proper been the best rookie to join the league since the season start? Like, no, it was not since the season start, but since the Overwatch League started.
He would be the best rookie since the season started, Jack. That would be correct.
Yeah, that is for sure. Currently, that is for sure. And if he keeps up this, honestly, yeah, MVP and maybe Rookie of the Year in his sights. But 3-0 for the Shock, not looking too bad. Boston Rising still got to figure a couple of things out. Matt with Mag's incorporation. We'll see if Punk ends up playing later down the line.
It seems like the direction they want to go is with like Mag as their tank, and obviously like I think communication probably plays into some of that. But they look pretty good today. I think you know, you put them against like some of the other teams in the league. I won't mention you know some of them, but there's a lot of teams in the league that this Boston Uprising team would beat today. Shock, just not one of them, especially when they're playing like that.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky, but the Shock, yeah, continue their dominant streak. We're going to jump to a quick break, though. We've got another series coming up, and we'll jump to the desk first, of course. They got a Pred right today. Let's go desk.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
I need my water glass. Papa has returned. Diamond, are you back? Diamond? Coco! Coco! Diamond, I can hear you shuffling papers. Ooh, Funko Pop. Diamond.
Give you a wave too. I've actually, but last time I talked to Violet, she told me that you haven't really practiced brig before, but like now because of the you are on that brig role. So how has the transition been for you onto that brig role? 자, 첫 번째 질문 오늘 승리 축하드리면서 지금 현 메타 때문에 많은 이제 서브 힐러 분들이 요즘 브리기테를 많이 기용을 하고 있는데 저번에 바일로트 선수가 저랑 인터뷰를 할 때 그런 말씀하셨어요. 핀 선수도 좀 이렇게 브리기테를 원래 자주 하지 않는 선수인데 요즘 이렇게 하고 있다라고 했는데 좀 요즘 브리기테를 하는 거에 대해서 좀 어떠신가요?
일단 오버워치 1에서도 제가 경쟁전에서도 진짜 단 한 판도 안 했어가지고 진짜 단 한 판도 그래가지고 어려움이 있었는데 지금 조금씩 성장하고 있어가지고 근데 아직은 아예 제 플레이가 만족스럽진 않아. 그래서 좀 더 잘해야 되겠다라는 생각이 있어요.
Alright. I mean, even before the Overwatch 2, even in Overwatch 1, even in competitive, I've never actually touched Brig once. I have not ever played Brig ever in my life. So, it is a little bit difficult, but I think I am getting better along with practice and a lot of scrims. But I have to say, my performance, I haven't been very satisfied with my performance. I mean, I think it's going great. I think you're looking better and better, as like you said, with more practice. So I'm really excited to see more of that great thing from you. My next question for you, Vin, is a very serious one. I know in Circuit Royale, like the match that we're seeing right now, before the match, you guys always have this ritual of you playing a song on the piano. So I want to know how much time you've used to practice to play songs on that piano. 자, 두 번째 질문은 조금 더 진지한 질문을 제가 좀 하고 싶습니다, 핀 선수. 이번에 항상 어떻게 보면 이제 서킷 로얄 맵에 들어가기 전에 좀 이제 의식같이 핀 선수의 피아노 연주가 항상 이렇게 나오곤 하는데 여기서 이 피아노 연주를 좀 어느 정도로 연습을 하시나요? 좀 이렇게 많이 연습을 하시는 편이신가요?
일단 제가 원래 피아노를 칠 줄 알아가지고 이제 좀 쉽게 변형해서 그냥 오른손으로 할 수 있는 것들은 그냥 하고 이제 스크림 때 서킷 로얄을 하면은 이제 한 30초 정도만 이제 다음 곡 뭐 할까 하고 이제 고민하면서 이제 거기서만 연습해요. 따로 연습은 안 하는 것 같아요. 아는 거니까.
Alright. So it does help me that I do know how to play the piano. So all the songs that I play are the songs that I can only play with one hand or with my right hand. So those are the songs that I play before going into the match. As for practice, every time we're in scrims, I take about 30 seconds to practice, but like nothing too major, but something that's easy to do. Whenever if the Circuit Royale is the map that we're practicing, I sort of whenever I have a downtime, that's when I used to practice it. Alright, Finn, that is it for the interview. Thank you so much for your time again. Big congratulations on the win. 자, 이걸 인터뷰 마치겠고요. 감사합니다. 바이바이.
바이바이.
Asking the hard-hitting questions and getting the answers we really want here. Things the fans want to know. Things we
That was a
really
very
want to know.
serious question.
That's always good to know.
laughing?
What do you mean?
No, what are you guys
Oh,
laughing?
you were laughing.
Laughing, I know.
Is so piano is just piano in Korean?
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh.
Is piano in Swedish too?
Yeah.
Is there any other language that just like translates piano to a,
Or is piano just a unique word that is the same?
that everyone says piano in all languages?
Let us know on the internet.
How do you say piano in piano, mate? No?
Piano, mate. Yeah.
Piano, mate. All right.
Every time.
Oh, wow. Let us know. Yeah, let us know on Twitter.
Hey, Calvin. How do you say piano in American? Is it the same as the way you say it in Canadian?
We did do our job that we're paid to do. We found out that the San Francisco Shock,
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh, wow, you learn something new every day. Are there any words that are different in American than Canadian?
Yeah. We say Canada.
Yeah.
Which is actually synonymous with a lot of other words that I can't say on stream.
Wow.
They got happy in the lineup now. Okay, they got happy.
Yeah, no excuses.
No excuses. All right. It's going to be one heck of a matchup to tie up the victory title South Africa. Now, of course, this one.
Okay, why were you curious on the pronunciation of piano?
What do you mean? It's just piano. Piano is piano in Sweden, and piano is piano in Korean. And and I needed to know if it was the same in Canadian or American.
Yeah. There's.
I gotta say, you speak pretty decent Canadian, I must say.
Yeah, I flip it.
Yeah, you need to work on like adding in the A's and instead of out it's oot. But
Yeah.
Or if it's just the sheer amount of pressure that the San Francisco Shock are putting on. We know how good Shock is.
your microphone vanished. I could not hear you.
Finn looks way more comfortable on that rig after a pretty poor statistical performance in the first weekend. But, you know, we talk about him all the time. Proper is just absolutely ridiculous on that Genji. He really sets the tempo for them. He is always one of the most aggressive players, draws a lot of attention, and that gives everyone else way more space to work. So, you know, the Shock just putting on a clinic of how this should be played, but there was just a mess of ultimates from the Boston Uprising, honestly. Just really struggling to get anything coordinated going, and the Shock were just applying so much pressure by standing in there.
I wonder if today's going to be a day of all 3 O's, or if today's going to be the day when Toronto finally takes a map or two off of Dallas.
So Shock have a great grasp of how they want to play this meta and playing it aggressively as they always do.
I was in pain when I just saw them on the rooftop, just standing there waiting for Boston to come out. I was like, come on, face us! And I was like, I felt intimidated for Boston Uprising. It was awful. But as I mentioned, like Proper just went ham. I was like, no, it was Proper, like the actual rookie of the year front runner at this point, probably Danny. I mean, just give us like the obligated contractual 1 minute on Proper here, Danny.
1 minute, that's a long time. You want me to go? Okay.
Surely it's
Proper,
yeah.
I honestly think he should be the first Overwatch League player to be MVP and Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
Double down.
yeah, you know, like there's no one I think no one comes close as of right now. Who comes close to Proper? Maybe like Spencer, maybe Profit, but even then, Proper is just on another level. Like he's on another level right now, and his performance shows like his hero pulls, everything about it.
All right, one more game. Let's go.
Okay, we got some map 5 last weekend. Maybe this is another one of those. We'll discuss it. It's going to be the Toronto Defiant taking on the Dallas Fuel, who have looked really good. And Danny, you're breaking up. You're like, yeah, Dallas Fuel, they're back.
They're back, but at the same time, I really want this to be close as well. Because Toronto, like I said, they have to make it. You guys, it'll be a very sad tournament if it's in Toronto, and if there's no Toronto, it's gonna be a Toronto-less Toronto tournament.
Well done.
Yeah.
You got all the way through it.
Come on, Toronto. I know this is gonna be an uphill battle, but we'll see. All right.
Do you think they can do it, Costa?
Toronto have looked good. Like they are genuinely a good team in this meta right now. I think that they're playing well. Hopper on that Junker Queen, I think impressed.
Feels like this is my hero.
Yeah, this is a hero.
My hero.
It was built for me. He's a very mechanically skilled tank, and he's finally stepping up and being able to use those mechanics. But then, you know, you have Although coming into the lineup playing a very solid Genji. Husu was always good on that hit scan, and we've talked to death about the backline. So, you know, it'll be exciting to see these two go because we're starting to really get an idea for where all these teams stand, right? Like New York Excelsior is a prime example of, we saw one weekend, we were like, oh, they must be really good, and then maybe not anymore. So, like, Toronto, where do they really stand now that they're going up against Dallas Fuel and we get another weekend?
Yeah, I quickly want to hit on the Dallas Fuel before we throw it over to the Dallas Fuel.
This really is going to be a measuring stick weekend for the Toronto Defiant. They beat the Atlanta Reign. They went up against Vancouver Titans and they went 2-0. But now they're facing some actual good teams this weekend, so we will have to wait and see. Diamond, thoughts? Diamond is still not here. Calvin, thoughts? Calvin is ignoring me. Lego Boy has been silent this whole time. Lego Boy, do you still exist or are you like away? Lego Boy is away. This is so sad.
And it's going to be Jaws and Mr. X, and hopefully this one actually, you know, there's a few maps in it. Now, Joe, I need to know, do you have any more Hotba facts for us?
There has to be more Hotba facts. I have a singular Hotba fact.
You can make one up. Scott made up one earlier.
That's true, yes. not the best track record of having the truest take on this. You know, Hotba, he likes...
He's played Junker Queen 64% of the time.
There you go. No, okay. Mine was real though. I saw him on camera do it the other day. He had a cool glass of cola. He likes cola. There you go.
I also love that Danny, like Lemon Kiwi earlier on the broadcast mentioned how like you shouldn't say the second T in Toronto, and Danny when he just said Toronto like 1,000 times, it was basically the second T was like bolded exclamation after it, and then like a little O, like he emphasized the second T to like more than I've ever heard anybody do. Danny, I love you. Never change.
Toronto. So it's supposed to be Toronto.
There you go, Danny.
Toronto, no Toronto.
Yeah, evidently we get bonus points if we go.
You know,
I don't think we'll be kicked out.
We can play a water game. I appreciate it. Every time you hear the caster say 2 T's, you know, have a sip of water.
Responsible.
All right.
If I want to be proper British Queen's English, I'd say the double T, but maybe I'll stoop down. So it's the American.
When you also asked how Scott would say piano in Australia.
I'm gonna
Look, it's basically a different language. Right, we're going to have to say goodbye. Goodbye, Desk. Thank you. We love you.
Alrighty, away we go.
We're going into our second game. Match.
Alright. What is the Pred? Does anyone know? I know.
Game, Matt, you know what? I actually enjoy casting. It's crazy.
I was originally
I don't even believe that. I'm just gonna gloss over it. Toronto. This is a huge
3-2? Who for?
Right? Like how the desk was
No
talking
doubt.
about, like wanting to qualify for their event.
I originally had Dallas winning this 3-1 in my pickums, but it felt disingenuous to
where they're ultimately going to have to beat some of these teams at the top.
to say
This is like their first
that
go.
Dallas was gonna
They
win.
got the Gladiators,
Because,
during
you know,
the summer
I
show
always
coming
have to
up here as
believe.
well, like, no freebies. They did actually get by, like looking back on it, like the win against the Titans in Game 5 was like massive, right? Because the Titans may be a team that like a lot of other teams won't beat, right? With how way they're looking. So this series is massive for their chances to qualify.
Yeah, let's have a look who's starting today for
Gotta check something.
Hisu, although Hopper Chorong and Twilight is going to be your starting.
My family has left and I don't know where they went.
It is fairly important that they find the dub in their schedule, especially against the Dallas Fuel, who everybody has been rating extremely highly. I remember we were talking about our fact chat the other day, like, look, Dallas Fuel is up there with teams right now. We did also say that New York was...
Yeah, I gotta say, you know, ever since I haven't appeared on some of those episodes, power rankings very inaccurate, very inaccurate.
No, I blame Scott, or somebody, I don't know. Maybe Connor, maybe I blame Connor for that one. A little bit to believe in the Yaki, I don't know. We'll see if New York Excelsior find a couple of dubs later down the line. But yeah, Toronto's schedule, not the easiest.
Yeah, the one thing that's interesting to me for the Defiant throughout this stage is like we have seen a lot of Hotba, and Hotba's looked pretty good on the Junker Queen. Her playstyle though is so aggressive, and that's something that like Muse I thought was actually really successful at, was really good at, was that, you know, fast aggressive style of play, where, you know, would have been interesting to see what he looks like playing the Junker Queen.
Yeah, like he is going against Harbin today, which like the Des was talking about earlier on, like Harbin has also been a spectacular player for the Dallas Fuel since his very first addition to the team, right? Harbin is just such a good off-tank, came in, played alongside Fearless when we were back in Overwatch 1, and they both looked unstoppable. Double bubble meta is something that stands out in my head, like it fit the team so well. And
Oh, why are they playing Sparkle versus us? Why couldn't they put Doha in?
a lot of pieces are falling into place in this meta for Dallas Fuel.
I'm so scared of
The
Sparkle.
scary thing when you're, you know, going against the Fuel here today, if you're the
I'm also kind of scared of Edison now, too.
Sparkle has the ability on Genji to do what we just saw proper.
I believe in our support line, though. And I believe in Hisu.
Right? Like, he is that good.
And Aldo's been okay. Aldo's been solid.
That hero is very strong right now. Which that could be a big problem for you throughout the series, right? I think if you're the Defiant, then you can kind of you know, neutralize his impact as much as possible, right? Don't let him get going. And start to really kind of get the groove like we just saw Proper do. You have kind of like a puncher's chance in this one.
Yeah, most definitely. It's like shutting down Sparkle might be the key. Hisu, on the other hand, he's going to be in the 1v1. No, sorry, not the 1v1, not against Sparkle, but against Edison. But although has also been another player that's come in from a team that didn't do great in the London Spitfire back in 2020. I remember that roster was a little bit all over the place. A lot of different players picked up from various, like even some tier 3 teams like Genji B, Genji S kind of thing. And that was a crazy time to be kind of a London fan. It was a big transition phase for the team, and although it was part of that roster, but he's really found his footing in Toronto Defiant in 2022, 2023, not there yet, surprising. And it's been quite exciting to see him develop, because he kind of left my memory with that London squad. He wasn't really a player that stood out a lot. It was like Glister on that roster. That was the only person that really stood up and was like, okay, I'm gonna pull this team to some wins. But man, in the Genji meta, all those mechanics, they've been rather sharp.
For me, like, the Toronto Defiant is the most, like, the talent is their team we have. Like, I know how we've said that, like, a billion times throughout the season, but, like, this is a team that you look across the board and, like, you get pretty excited about a lot of the players they have, across their roster. Kind of put, game plans and put them in position to succeed. See them get off to a start here today with Hisu actually going to be playing the Ashe instead of the Sojourn.
I don't mind it, especially if you're on like a defensive player. If you have,
Why are we? How you just let him die like that, man?
How the hell did that happen? I was just that was Harmon like randomly shooting it in the background.
Well, it was interesting because like he didn't take high ground. Like you could have taken like whether it's on top of the building or like maybe even the ledge, right? You kind of come out of that building and you have a little bit of an overhang. He was actually on like ground level, like and a Hanbin will just get really close. So, yeah, you want the Ashe in this type of position, right? Where you can control this high ground, lay down damage from above, and there's nowhere for really the Dallas Fuel to go.
Chio went super low after he got hit by that dynamite. Commanding shout for the Dallas Fuel.
Oh.
Chio and Sparkle stay alive. Maybe not for long though, although throws a shuffle of shurikens his way. They do end up trading, so trying to Defiant have to back up. They lost their Junker Queen, so no frontline pressure.
You can trade, but it's not like you can continue to fight after the trade, right? You lose your Junker Queen, you just kind of have to back up. There's no way you're going to make
How?
that Hanbin's able to find
I don't understand.
The Defiant not giving themselves a chance, really, at the beginning here.
Dallas are just so much better.
Kind of secure the fight. Yeah, Hisu was on high ground. He then dropped down. Maybe he saw an opening somehow. It's a bit difficult to get protected up there too. You just have to keep like juggling the edge. So you are slightly vulnerable to Chio and Sparkle if you do LS your healers.
I also think it's difficult if you're trying to figure out like if it's just like a compositional thing where maybe you have to play the Sojourn, like because you're not really getting anything going in these fights, right?
Oh boy.
Ineffective, or whether you need to make a change, or it's just positioning and whatnot. Because every fight really this far has just been dominated.
It feels like we're giving them too much respect.
Yeah, they even used that bomb too that Hisu's been able to build up. I mean, Dallas Fuel, luckily for Toronto, don't have any support ultimates. 95% coming up. Toronto Defiant are making a two-man push around the side to get that touch. So although with the Blade, Twilight with the Rally are going to be on point, but the Dallas Fuel see an opening and maybe trying to push to the spawn room of Toronto Defiant to try and find some this is a lacking Defiant members. Although he does have a Blade, he does pull it. Edison and Chio end up going down to the Genji as they do manage to find the flip in the end.
It's like a two-player flank from the Defiant. Dallas recognized it, decided to give up the point and push forward, but never really fully committed to push forward. Maybe they ended up like overlapping speed with like Shout and Lucio, and they just weren't able to get close enough, and then they didn't have anything to get back. It put them in a really weird situation between.
I'm gonna stop molding. I'm gonna trust my team.
Coming with speed from one side and
This is difficult.
the other.
Oh, huge rampage.
Oh, big rampage, yeah.
Equally as large rampage from Hanbin. Fielder is so low, but Sparkle's pulled the Blade. He's a rallying brick straight in his face, but Twilight had the bash to get away and create some distance.
We wanted to disengage from that. Why?
They suffered at the hands of the Dallas Fuel. For Toronto, as the Dallas Fuel use that commanding shout to push them onto point and just isolate Twilight. Chio finds 2 kills in the fight, and the Dallas Fuel are going to be able to find the cap, and overtime is triggered. Although to touch to re-trigger OT, but he's got no dash, he's got no reflect, and he's got no health left. And the Fuel will claim round 1.
Yeah. Percentage looks way closer than what I think actually kind of like the gameplay represented there is. The Defiant able to kind of go around on a flank, flip the point. Like we mentioned, Dallas really left in like no man's land there in the middle, not able to get anything going. It'll be interesting whether the Defiant stay with Hisu here on the Ashe or want to switch up to the Sojourn. I feel like you kind of highlighted it. Ashe feels like it's like way more of like a defensive pick, where Sojourn obviously can get up in the mix and kind of brawl a little bit more in close range.
What was this play here? Oh, this was. Oh, no way. Well, that sucks.
He's like, I'm not taking this by players down. I'm out.
You made peace. Wow.
Bob's yelling at everybody, reset.
Yeah, reset, get off the mat, every reset. God damn. Yeah, Bob kind of cold though. Yeah. All right, Toronto, what you got? Oh, you got a lot, apparently.
Helpata.
Bob's the IGL. Finally, an AI IGL. Technically, it would be perfect, right? Because it's AI, knows exactly what's going on at all times.
Can Toronto get the space here, Jack? Like, Dallas feels like they're just collapsing on them so fast. Like, can they back up and give Hisu the... Hisu gets picked off by Edison. I was gonna say, can they give Hisu the space? Because that sort of feels like to me like this thing is all predicated on, right? Like, if you can just survive,
there we go.
Give Hisu the space from a distance, you can battle out and win. Although, and Hoppa coming up clutch here may end up pulling this out.
Yeah, overeager from the Dallas Fuel, it feels like there, although just kind of carving Toronto Defiant a new one, but somehow Gio comes up big with a couple of kills. But with Hisu dying so early, he's able to come back pretty fast. Toronto Defiant, they do end up speeding all the way back. Even Gio surviving at that point, it manages to escort the rest of the Fuel back to the point fairly quickly. So even if Hisu did come back early, he's not going to be able to withstand the pressure from like 4 Dallas Fuel members.
See now the Dallas Fuel control the point. There's going to be another fast attack here as Toronto does have a rally. So do you rally Blade here? Maybe you can like disengage here. You know,
we could have matched the rally to their beat.
Like your Blade after, because rally available for the Fuel. So that's a big pickoff.
Oh, there's the rally. Although he's got the Blade. Chorong with the beat. They've got a lot to work with. It's whether they can actually get anything done. Already, Twilight's rally's just getting poked at by Edison. And now a later rally from the Fuel. Toronto Defiant going to have to respond, and they do so with a beat and a Blade. Although dashes forward, is Godfielder in his sights, and the Dallas Fuel's rally is still just ongoing. So that overhealth continually building during that fight. Luckily, though, Hisu is granted space and takes care of Sparkle, but Edison's overclock might be a little bit better than the DPS ults from the Toronto
Gio
Defiant.
gets all though.
Finds yet another final blow. The Dallas Fuel holding down this point. They ended up flipping, and now they got 60+% building.
Now the Dallas Fuel start to get rolling on this point where it felt like Toronto had a little bit of an opportunity there, right? So we'll see what Bob's decision is now, whether to stay and fight or there's not really a spot where you can run and reset here. So see how Hisu decides to use it. You can kind of like put him in this corner, right? And get like a crossfire on the point and maybe get a grab.
Look at Armin's position though, he set up the rally. Oh, there's the bomb. How do Fuel respond? There's the speed up, speed boost used to get get out of LOS of the Bob. 3-man rampage, although he's doing strong and pretty low, but Bob just doing crazy damage from the sidelines. That crossfire working out Matt. Edison does fine too, but although could just get so many resets in this small room, I say that. The Toronto still needed to cap. So Hopper just left the rest of his
Poor
team. Now he's
Hopper.
playing a little bit of hide and seek, but Dallas Fuel have found him. And unlike the Child's game, Hopper will end up dying. The Dallas Fuel are going to have to back.
Well, maybe not.
Have to push the Toronto back as he's now come on the soldiers.
Hoppa's about to have Rampage, and we can get the touch here. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Oh, there goes Twilight.
OT rolling, but Sparkles now, it's his turn to roll, and he's rolling the Toronto Defiant. Although Hisu Twilight dead, overtime's going to tick down, and that should be round number 2 and map number 1 to Fuel.
Feels like the Defiant got rolling a little bit there in that second round. Obviously way closer than round number 1, but still not good enough to stop the Dallas Fuel.
Figure it out, Toronto. You got this.
Mention as well. This match is so important for the Defiant to qualify for the summer showdown. We'll see if they can carry over some of the bright spots of their play into this next map, but they got to start clicking fast because Dallas is not looking to be letting up today.
Yeah, not great. 2 rounds taken by Dallas. They get 1 map in their back pocket. Toronto Defiant. So have a chance though to come back after this break. We'll see what happens in map number 2.
Yes, we'll do this one. Oh. I must go check something. Where'd you guys go?
To pick up Elijah and get me coffee.
How are the games going, Fracture?
Oi.
What's up? Welcome back. Fuel, taking on time. 2-0 on control. As we head on to our next map, it's going to be a hybrid. It's going to be Midtown. Maybe an opportunity here for the Ash to work a bit better on Midtown, I think. A little bit longer sidelines.
Oh, Midtown.
More high ground.
I also have not seen that one this stage yet.
We saw them commit to it really all of Busan. We'll see what happens here on Midtown. I think if you come out with it on Midtown and you don't get off to a great start, I think it's going to be time to start like trying to get into that mirror, right? Play with some of that. So
I'm so sad Nimbani's not in Overwatch 2 at the moment. Like it wasn't in any of the betas. Because then we'd have a great excuse to see some Monkey or Ball or Diva. Okay, let's go Toronto.
Trying to land shots, but it's been like...
yeah, and it's hard because you see where like everybody on Dallas is playing. They're not really giving him any sight lines, and he has to.
Stop buffering, please.
Come into a vicinity where they can just run him down to be able to see or do anything to damage.
Oh, what a knife. Does Hopper die to that?
Really
Yeah, he does.
That was nice by Hoppa.
Nice.
That was clean.
Small tick damage, and then Hopper just finishing off with the final play. They're doing trading Genjis, but Hisu gets the better of Edison, and it's Toronto
There we go.
now cap at the point. 2 ticks done, and now the play for the Fuel is just to rush onto the point and try and find some sort of damage, some sort of
Good.
kills. But
Let's go Toronto.
you see also once they can't just run Hisu down and he has that space, he comes out with what, 3 kills during that fight?
Oh yeah.
It's a big dynamite here for some tick damage, some extra. So you're gonna get close to that bomb yet again. So you can definitely make the Ashe work. It seems a little bit harder making the Ashe work than like just kind of throwing the Sojourn in the mix. But you start to play these fights right, give Hisu the space. You can definitely make this work against what Dallas is doing.
Yeah, this is the best point for the Ashe, ideally. Get her up on that high ground if you push all the way forward, but these comps are so aggressive.
Nice.
Speaking of aggression, wow.
Ooh, nice Aldo. That's big.
Just cleaning up the reset. And that was actually Dallas fuel players stuck behind the Toronto Defiant now, so they just kind of have to feed onto the payload, or at least
This has been a
some of them
mess
do.
for Dallas.
Don't have skates like that.
Start this off. This is looking really messy for Dallas. I mean, look at this for Toronto. It used nothing to get the cart all the way from that.
We're gonna have Bob this fight. This will be big, nice. Well, yeah, you know, sending Bob in there, pretty.
Killed pretty quickly, but look at the time that they have to invest. Rally coming out from Twilight, Field is 4% away. The Toronto Defiant could just pound on the pressure. Sparkle was already dead, but Gio gets the beat on just in time. The Toronto Defiant haven't had this fight yet. Response.
This is a butt clench moment. This is a butt clench team fight. Oh, we get the Lucio. Aldo gets Gio. Oh, but Edison gets Aldo with the overclock. Yeah, and Dallas end up cleaning out. Oh, but Hoppa has committed the rampage. Is this? He gets Fielder. No. Okay.
I was gonna say I was shocked that Aldo invested the blade, and then Hop was like, "I'll one up you. Watch this," and he ended up using the rampage there. When Aldo ended up using the blade, you had used both of your support ultimates for the Defiant. You had the rally like lasting longer on the Dallas side. So you were like, well, you know, Dallas, they have Shout, they have the rally already going, like not a real reason to use the blade, although uses it there. I'm more shocked that I was pretty stunned by that, but then after the rampage, I was more shocked by that use, because what, did you just have Hisu up on the bridge and then Hampa down below? I don't think that was a winnable fight considering where Dallas is spawning from.
Yeah, you're already hoping for a miracle at that point. Oh, Harvin in the bushes with his ghillie suit on. He's still got Rampage. Hisu's already taken out Kara Sparkling.
There we go. Good 2. 3. Okay. That's just. That's it. I guess that was just good neutral play from Defiant that let them win that, because no ults were committed from either side, and I don't know why Dallas didn't commit. Dallas easily could have committed the Rampage or the Blade there, and it would have been fine. Like, it would have been a free team fight one, because Toronto didn't have any ults that team fight.
Like we talked a little bit about coming into this map, the sightlines in just kind of this map seems to fit the Ashe way better than Busan did, and I think you're seeing it start to pay off now.
Right, Sparkle's got that blade. Twilight's so close to that rally. The question is if they go aggressive or not. Hisu can also use that bomb to try and mitigate a lot of that space.
And like, this positioning from Dallas is also just kind of odd, because they keep wrapping around behind Toronto, but that just is kind of giving Toronto free cart push. At least that's what it seems like it's been doing for the first, or for the second point and the first part of third. Like, the cart's already halfway through third on the Defiant attack.
You're okay with that though, if you're the Defiant, right? You know, Rampage rally, Blade used there by Dallas. You come back with a beat, Blade, and Rampage of your own, and you got a reasonable amount of card progress for relatively free there. It's a Dallas fuel fight win. I'm not exactly sure, how that's going to look though in the grand scheme of things. I mean, look at this.
I didn't even realize Sparkle was up there, but that's good on Aldo.
The Rampage here to make a difference. You can actually wait until this cart turns the corner and use it to secure it getting all the way through. That's like best case scenario now for Toronto.
Cheers, gonna have to use that beat fairly sparingly. Gonna have to counter that Rampage, otherwise Hopper could just roll all over them. Beat's already used from Defiant. In fact, it forced out Gio's blade.
Nice Rampage from Hotba, but he's in deep, and but Hanbin's down.
Yep. Edison with the overclock though can still do some serious work in the back line.
This is a disengage from Toronto.
So, Edison's more than willing
Yeah.
to play up to the Toronto Defiant, trying to push them over. 4 meters to go.
It seems there, Jack, that they got a little bit out of sorts. So, like, they ended up using their blade for the Defiant, and then no, their beat, and then you also had the beat being used there by Dallas. That's kind of what they wanted, use their beat to get their own beat out. And then they had the Rampage, and Hoppa went in with the Rampage, but there was like nobody else went with him. Then he just ended up
super early.
Like, yeah, he ended up in the middle of like 3 players. For the fuel, just got burned down pretty quick. Yeah, that was a pretty big fumble because that was the Defiant's opportunity there.
Yeah, you saw that overshield too from the sound barrier, so Rampage not hitting its full effectiveness. I mean, Toronto right now, what are they waiting for? They're waiting for this rally to come online. Slowly but surely, they're inching their way towards that final checkpoint. The Dallas Fuel, once again, have kind of swapped positions with them. It looked like they were on the attack this time. You can see the positioning from Edison. There's the rally from Fielder. Twilight is so close here. There's a couple of packs and a couple of melees. Maybe we'll do it, but he is the target of all
There
the
goes
focus.
Twilight.
Fuel. That rally.
Fielder's so low. There we go.
Low, but the health bar's looking rather topped up.
Oh, Lucio's low. Nice.
However, some good focus fire.
Nice beat. This is winnable.
That speed up for the Fuel to utilize to get back to their spawn and back to the rest of their team. The Rampage hits.
Honbin charges off cart, and oh, there goes Lucio. It's just a disengage.
There's only 20 seconds to go now as Twilight has come back with a rally of his own, and now although with the only ultimate left for the Toronto.
Oh, nice, big.
To seal this payload onto.
That Sparkle down with the blade.
Is all that remains.
After popping blade, I should say.
Yeah, and that was the blade from Sparkle he was using there.
Nice deflect, and here comes the blade from us. There we go. Focus Honbin, focus the Queen. Queen's one. Queen's so low. Oh, shout is so good. But there goes Edison. Oh, we can get this though. Just keep boop him off.
And Fielder are still alive. Nice move from Chorong to stop them from touching the payload. It is 0.45 meters to go.
Oh, so close. This is winnable for Toronto though, I think.
For the Defiant, they almost get it the entire way through effectively.
So close.
Needs to complete the entire map. Second map in the set here, where we'll see how.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the stream. We've got Toronto currently down 1-0, and they were just 0.45 meters away from full capping on Midtown. So. This is alright. The first round, if you guys missed it, was not the closest thing in the world. As a matter of fact, Dallas seemed to have that pretty handily. This isn't the most, like, aggressive game I've seen from, like, in this meta so far. Like, I tend to prefer, like, when, like, you know, teams are more aggressive and engage on each other. But there seems to be a little bit more poked, especially since Toronto's running the Ashe. The Ashe kind of wants to play a little bit slower, let the other team get clumped up and get the big dynamites, but this one's been interesting. If you've been watching, at least this map anyway. But maybe I'm just saying that because Toronto's doing all right.
I don't believe there's any on this map though. There looks to be no ice on the ground.
Okay.
Don't know if that's
Yeah.
don't know if that's a logical explanation there, Jack.
No, that's true. Maybe the payload made of ice. We don't know that. We don't know that. Do you know the material, the material composition of the payload?
Toronto's playing the low ground.
No, but I also know that there are no fire trucks made of ice. So.
And Dallas is rotating around left side through that little alley.
No retort.
Didn't really seem like he thought that one out.
No. You know what? Actually,
And although it gets Gio on the Lucio, big. Dallas is without their Lucio. And then Honbin follows shortly after with Hotbed gets Honbin after with the slash. And Edison, of course, finds Twilight because Sojourn is... Sojourn can do that.
When you get it on a support, sometimes the DPS, although they have a lot of mobility, or the Jungler Queen, it puts them out of position. You can just...
Toronto's just probably going to chill, play slow here. Wait for Twilight to get back. Yeah. Oh, Hisu gets Sparkle, though. That's big. Honbin's low.
It's kind of insane how far it does pull you. It does miss that one, but
Yeah, Toronto's pushing still. Hoppa gets moved back, but Hanbin still goes down to Twilight on the break with the bash.
Because the Dallas Fuel would have to invest so much mobility and so many abilities, like speed boost, shout or whatever.
And Hoppa gets us in. Alright, doing alright. We're getting... We've killed a minute and a half off the clock. We're chilling. We're chilling. Alright, what's coming up here? Fielder's got the rally. Chio's still waiting on beat. Hisu just threw in Bob. All those coming up on the Blade, which is probably going to end up getting used this fight. But they got to keep Hoppa alive or commit before he dies. There we go. Hisu gets Sparkle. This is actually looking fairly decent. And there goes Aldo with the Blade. 3 kills for him, though. With a couple slashes and a dash. That's 4. 4 for Aldo with the Blade. And that's only 1 ult used from Defiant, so... was it? Dallas are going to come in with the Beat, the Rampage, and the Overclock. And then Sparkle should come up with Blade either at the end of this fight or next. Hoppa's coming up on the Rampage, and Toronto's got both support alts. So, we'll see. We commit the shout. And there goes Hoppa. I can't help but feel like we should have beated that. Although it deflects Edison's railgun, though, and Edison's down. And both the Beat and the Rally have been committed for Toronto, and we're still losing this. That's not bad, though. Toronto had a really good hold there on first point. And might even be able to re-engage with the Rampage. And they do! Sparkle uses the Blade, and there goes Hoppa. And there goes Chora, and yeah. But, you force the Blade. That makes it a little bit harder to steamroll. We're to keep momentum going next fight. Hisu's got the Bob. And Fielder on Dallas has the Rally.
Really smart play. They've gone up and taken control of this bridge. They don't want to allow the Ash to get set up in that position.
Speaking of Ashes, Eddie is...
Oh, Edison's on the Ash now. And Hisu gets Chio. Let's go.
Oh, double headshot. Jesus, okay, Hisu. Chill. He's got Bob, too. Not bad. Look how close they're playing to the spawn. And to be fair, the more space you give up here for the Dallas Fuel, the worse Edison has, the worse time Edison has, because he needs angles on this high ground to even touch Hisu's position. There's the ball.
You know it's definitely become a problem, though, and he forced the switch out of the Dallas Fuel, right?
Bob's in. Hanbin's getting low. And here comes the Rally.
That's really early. That is super. Look at Toronto Defiant's positioning already.
Sparkle's 1. Please kill Sparkle. There we go.
Sparkle ends up falling over. The Dallas Fuel looking the most uncoordinated we've seen in this series so far. Edison gets taken down, and the Toronto Defiant in good stead. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go, man.
Yeah, and I think, obviously a lot of series
Oh boy.
still left to go. If the Defiant's able to hold on here, I think at that point you start to look at the map, right? And like, which maps can you successfully run this type of composition on? Because you see the Dallas Fuel, clearly a little bit bothered.
Alright, Dallas, no ults going into this team fight. Toronto's got the Blade and the Beat coming up on Rally. Dallas will be coming up on the Bob and the Beat, though. And there goes Aldo.
That damage, that dynamite from Edison and the boops and all the other Cheerios, the flails, doing a little bit too much. It's still hard, to be fair, without the nano. Still very much a thing you can combo, but no one really playing Ana these days. It's just like watch point Gibraltar. Alright, Defiant. They've got like another fight here to give, and that's about it.
Alright.
Support ultimate.
He's just coming up on Bob soon.
Using your beat to get the beat out from Chio. You've seen that kind of interaction happen numerous times at that point. And then you have your Rally to push you over the line.
Oh, help Twilight. Oh, there's the Beat. That's big. And there goes Edison. Twilight's down. Sparkle gets Hoppa.
kills, almost a fourth as Harmon finishes off the rest of the Toronto Defiant. 10 seconds to go with the payload.
All right, let's go. Come on, Toronto.
Win condition very much in their sights right now. 1 minute 30 seconds to go. They just need to
I've been gone so long.
basically
I've
hit
been talking about
completion.
how's the game going?
First map, Dallas rolled us. Not even really that close. This one's been a little weird, but we're coming out on top, and I think we're actually playing the cleaner map right now. We just couldn't get it over the finish line here, unfortunately, but it was like 0.45 meters off, so.
Rampage versus Rampage of Bob. What can Bob do? That is the question. Bob comes out. Riley gets popped by Fielder.
Where did Bob go?
Look at him actually. Yeah, he's
Oh,
just kind
Bob's
of ripping
gone.
it apart. He doesn't eventually end up getting taken down, but Harmon's health bar still not looking healthy. Rampage not hitting too much. Managed to claim Sparkle's life at least, but they do trade on the board.
Yeah, but we're gonna lose this team fight. Hanbin had the better Rampage, and we're just... Oh. This is gonna be one of those maps, I think, where we just... It's gonna be this fucking close, and we're gonna lose it. Like, we don't have any ults coming up. Like, the closest thing we have is gonna be all those Blade. And Hoppa did not get enough value with that Rampage.
To be fair, you only really have one ult on Dallas side.
Yeah. I mean, we have been better in the neutral so far, though. I will give us that.
It's down.
That is. 4 seconds. I don't think anyone can touch. Nobody can touch! Oh, and let's go! We actually took a map off of Dallas! That was... Oh my gosh. Wow. That wasn't like a... That wasn't a banger of a map, but... We won it.
Yeah, they're looking super clean. Very much have a chance to take Dallas Fuel all the way to map number 5. We're going to jump to a quick break, though. We've got another map up next.
Let's go. That was big. Is my girlfriend here yet? Okay. I want to see her before I have to shut up. I have to pee again. I'll be back. We actually took a map off of Dallas. Holy. I simply cannot believe. We took a map off of Dallas. Calvin has mysteriously vanished as well, I think. Calvin? You there, boo-boo? That doesn't know. He is not there. What's this? Oh, what's up, Andy? How the fuck did you find this? This, I am co-streaming Overwatch League, so if you go to the Overwatch League stream, you can actually see what I'm watching. And basically, you just get to sit here and feel like you're watching the game with someone, is essentially what co-streaming is, if you don't know. Let me pop it in the chat. We're currently watching Toronto play versus Dallas. Little bit of background. Dallas is one of the best teams in the league, and Toronto has kind of been middle of the pack this year and last year as well. So it's so us getting one map and tying up the series 1-1 is pretty big. Okay.
Edison's hit scan extremely good. They brought in Gurio to be this like Widowmaker long range specialist, but he has had some like middling performances. And the way Hisu's playing right now on this Ash pick, yeah, Edison can pop heads too, but Hisu seems to be on a little bit of a hot one.
Yeah, I know. When you're just talking about I thought about like what the gladiators, right? Like adding Happy to the mix.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if the Dallas Fuel got involved in that, right? You get Happy here on the Dallas Fuel. Lights out for a map like this, right? So, Edison can play, but like you mentioned, like like Guerrilla, you're looking at like that long range hit scan, like expert for maps like this, almost like an Anons type of role. So it'll be Dallas on offense. Looks like obviously still time to make some changes. Edison may end up matching this Ash. So map number 2 could definitely, if it obviously goes to Defiant's favor, could be looked at as a real turning point.
I love when teams hold this clock. He pulled Sparkle, like of all people. It's TP up. Only a couple of people a little bit MIA. Sparkle in the spawn as he changed over to the Genji.
Oh, they just TP'd up to high ground.
Oh, Edison actually gets the better of Hisu in that engagement.
This is going to be awkward, and yep, Dallas take that.
How effective the dynamite can be too, because the companies just have to play so close together, right, to get use out of the Inspire, the Lucio auras, the Shout, that you're looking at like 2-3 players with that dynamite every single time, which ends up just adding tons towards your obviously overall damage, but your ultimate charge as well. Is Edison already up to 40%?
This is Dallas coming up strong.
Got a crazy amount of damage.
Yeah, these neutral brawl fights have not been great for the Defiant. When the game slows down a little bit, or they can kind of set the pace, and Hisu's got the space, that's when they look good. When you kind of get into these close quarter brawly scenarios, I got Busan. That's when Dallas just has been wiping the floor with them.
Yeah, it's definitely where their strengths are exaggerated, that is for sure. That's just kind of insane at close range duels, especially with Sparkle. Edison taking some free
Twilight's
shots.
gotta notice that.
Defiant, who just lay down on the
Toronto's just gotta notice Edison on the high ground.
And maybe a 4-2, little punch. That's 4. Can you find a fit?
Benefit for the Defiant is the payload was not moving at all during that, right? So,
but you do get high ground now, which is kind of crazy if you're Edison. And you have a ball. He seems like
no sleep or anything, right? No way to just get rid of him fast.
Yeah, it's just about burning him down or like booping him to somewhere that he's not as effective. Looks like they want to just take ship control. Good to push Edison off, but still a lot of free payload push here, Matt. And now Bob is going to be kind of crazy if you just kind of lay it down.
Nice. Sisu gets Edison.
Straight to a headshot from Heath.
Yes, he pulls, pulls him right into the line of fire. So Sparkle's going to actually try and turn it into the blade.
He's super low, although ends up just finishing him off with a melee. Has still got the blade of his own.
Nice.
Now making a stand.
Finding their footing. Big.
Thought that Toronto had support ultimates already, and that by pulling out that blade, you're going to get some of them out. Wasn't necessary. So you end up using the blade, and now you kind of sit at even in terms of support ultimates across the board. Toronto's going to have all 5 ultimates going into this next fight.
Yeah, you definitely are feeling pretty good if you're Toronto. Let's see how they want to end up attacking this. Look at although already going pretty aggro. Sparkle
Nice.
he hasn't got any more defensives left.
That was a big dynamite by Hisu. Really helped get that kill on Sparkle. Diamond, are you still here, or did you leave again?
Yep. Now you can. We've seen how effective this has been in the past.
Diamond.
Some of this high ground make it really costly for teams to get in through those lower ways, and in the past it was even difficult, and you had like shields in the mix, right? Now you don't even have like a shield, right?
Yeah, it's super punishing. We'll see if Dallas Fuel can find a little something. What is... Dude, Chorong just in the skybox right now, just booping people away. He has got a beat. Oh, can he boop that up? No, he cannot. Chio still gets that beat off, and Chorong...
Nice beat.
His Hopper was so low in that fight, but look at that rampage from the hard bin. It's Toronto Defiant, and Hopper was already burning away. That Chorong beat was just nothing for the Dallas Fuel. And now they get a nice little push, and it's going to be able to get height.
Can you come back and fight this if you're the Defiant? You're going to have clean slate across the board. Although hiding behind enemy lines here.
Oh no.
He's been spotted.
Aww.
Well, at least Edison goes down, I suppose. As a 1-1, but it's Twilight on the payload trying to keep the rest of his team alive. Hopper going super low. Look at the focus fire from the Dallas Fuel. It's just too good. That should be it. Yep, all said and done. The Dallas Fuel still managed to cap.
I mean, after not a very good defense on point A, point B, that was pretty decent.
Spawn lock, potentially not let them get the high ground. But they didn't get the front spawn. It doesn't look like it. So that's a beneficial thing for the Defiant, right? Nobody gets that front spawn, or he gets staggered out. Even more time as Dallas contested the high ground there for a second, but so you see like 3-4 players get up there for the Defiant, you have to back out.
Yeah, it's still denying as much space as possible, but because their spawn is like that close, it's pretty easy for you to solve in that corner. Wow, Twilight just goes down to Edison. I'm assuming that was from a knife pull or something, but yeah, Twilight dying there is really bad news for Toronto Defiant. And now look at the Eagles perch that Edison is in. He's closing in on that Bob as well, Matt.
Come on, Toronto. You guys can put this together.
You use this Bob, you kind of put it just straight down the runway here. Maybe you're able to build up towards a blade to combo with it. Finishing Gibraltar with some time would be huge for Dallas.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Dallas Field just wanting to build up ult. Bob comes out. Dynamite on top. Maybe Sparkle's still got that blade. The rally from Field is good. Healing Sparkle all the way up. Bob just playing gatekeeper right now. Just pushing the Toronto Defiant all the way back in their spawns. Dynamite comes out from any blade. Oh my god, it's Sparkle. Just going crazy with his dragon blade. Dynamite on top with the blade.
So it's a good map from Dallas.
Look at that. Dallas Fuel end up completing with time in the flank map. 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Yeah, not just a little bit amount of time. Yeah, really good amount of time.
Toronto didn't really get a good, didn't really have good defenses on point A or C.
Now that we've kind of got Edison on the Ash to mirror what Isu's been doing, it's definitely evened up the odds a little bit. Edison played quite well there.
Yeah, it feels like they wanted to stay away from the Sojourn comp now. Hisu just had the better of Edison every single time Edison was on the Sojourn. But it's also kind of a little bit map dependent too, but Edison looking great on the Ashe so far. Decent defense from Toronto Defiant, and I like their pacing, Matt, I will say. Their ability to just kind of always go in, like Chorong especially, like he was super far up on that Lucio a lot of that time in the hangar phase, and then although was kind of doing the same thing. This will be Sparkle's blade at the very end.
Ooh, dash straight through, yeah. He gets, yeah, I mean that's
nothing you can do
there. And we'll see how they end up doing it now. We'll see if they like use no Symmetra style TP here at the start. They're just gonna play with the Ashe. Actually go around this left side here. What are we gonna see in here? We're gonna nice reflect there.
Yeah, who shot that reflect? Like everybody shot the reflect. He almost died to that one.
Insta-killed, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been embarrassing. That would have been the blame the team moment. Oh, Sean. It's unfortunate. Oh, wow. Although gets taken care of by Sparkle. Nice little defense there from Sparkle, in fact, trying to protect Eddie.
Yeah, and interesting that Dallas, they play this defense with like Sparkle up on the high ground here, kind of provide a little bit of a crossfire. It's almost like he's a little bit of like a distraction in a way, right? Like kind of see Sparkle off to the side on his own. You know he's going to be able to kind of get out with the dash himself, and look at this, Hanfin's actually taking that spot as well. So you have the entire Dallas Fuel team up here on this perch now.
Sparkle's pretty low, just need healing. Hisu just getting bullied into his spawn. Like the rest of his team are on the payload right now. It's a 4v5. And Hisu just needs an angle, but it's proving a little bit harder than he'd imagine. Dallas Fuel taking that in kind. Like Hisu is still behind them, mind you, so it's actually a 4v5 in the car wash right now. Both the supports and the Toronto Defiant are pretty damn low, and now they are just dead. Builder doesn't end up falling, but I mean the AoE from the Junker Queen. I mean it's just too good in those situations.
And what we talked about is like those brawlier fights. That's where the Defiant have fallen short. Where the payload is now, that's all you're gonna get, right? You're gonna get these brawly type of fights, unless there's kind of a pick-off from Hisu up in the high ground that allows you to push that payload all the way through this underpass.
Oh, those are almost dead already. God damn, both Genjis. They always get focused down early on. Early rally, nice knife pull on Chorong. Does end up backing up, but look at the health bars falling. Hopper, no like instant burst heal either. With these supports, so it's hard to help someone get back up to full HP if they end up going down pretty low and the enemy team has good focus. Trying to define with 1 minute and 50 seconds to go. Struggled getting under this bridge.
So, I mean, they've kind of introduced the Dallas Fuel. They were like, hey, we're going to play Ashe. We're going to win Midtown. It's like, okay, well, watch this. We're going to do something similar. And now with the Dallas Fuel, you have your beat here for like maybe you can trade your beat for like 2 support ultimates on the other side. That's always a possibility here.
Yeah, both support ults for Toronto. Got Blade, got the Bob, like maybe you got Rampage the next buy, but Dallas Fuel have been rather conservative with their ults too. Have only used that rally. So we'll see how aggressive Dallas Fuel want to take it. They got to know that it's almost a 5-stack of ults here for Toronto. There's the rally start of the fight from Twilight. And Dallas Fuel willing to, that's fine. We'll just play safe right now. Yeah. Your rally's going to fade away momentarily, and now you're going to have to try and make a different play. There's the beat to counter the blade. The Bob's also going to come out. The payload's moving back, and Harbit just unleashes another huge rampage, taking care of Twilight. The Bob, still doing a little bit of damage to the Dallas Fuel, but nothing they can't handle. There's 40 seconds to go, and okay, Twilight's now on the Arna to try and make something work, but they're gonna need something. I mean, Matt, this is an absolute stomp right now on first.
Yeah, this has not been great here from the Defiant. It seems like Dallas now just trying to not trying to, just beating them at their own game. You know, you introduce this kind of composition into the mix, start to have some success, and now once it gets mirrored, you're not able to do anything against it. As you know, Bob in the mix here, Rally, Blade, What are you looking at here? You know, you have this sleep dart, right? You need the sleep for maybe the bomb or the blade, one or the other.
Yeah.
You're not going to have it for both.
And that's if you even hit the blade, to be fair. All right, someone's touching from Toronto, but it is Hopper. So the Dallas Fuel do have an opening. Henderson goes pretty low. There's the rally. Rampage comes out, hits Sparkle and Heartbeat, but Twili's already dead. He's not a brig, he can't run away, and both the supports down to Sparkle's blade. And I think this might just be it. The Bob doing a fair bit of work still, but yeah, Edison doesn't need it. He's still a crack shot.
Yeah,
The
there
Dallas
we go.
Fuel, they're gonna hold
Okay.
on. Gibraltar, Toronto Defiant go down a map, and now Fuel on match point.
One more
You think now, in the overall series,
map, maybe. Hopefully 2 more.
number one, dominant here in Gibraltar. Midtown is the one that the Defiant were able to pull out, and even that one, right? You know, kind of they're able to pick off Hanbin at the end, but that one is not easy. Really need to see the Defiant
It
kind of
literally
come up
started
with
maybe
maybe
we
whether
want
it's
to
a solution or
rebrand,
this Ash setup,
have a social
or just
media
maybe a little bit
team
more of a
and
sense
shit.
of urgency
And
and how important
basically
this
he was
match is.
asking me for advice on the best way to like market it.
I
And
mean,
like,
look, it's just
you
how
might be giving
Gibraltar
this out
goes.
for
You either
free,
cap
but regardless, I did it. And then he's like, can you show me like some
or you get held up first.
websites with good marketing?
We're
So
gonna jump
on the
to
fly, I
Colosseum
had
as the
to
next
pull
map.
up fucking random websites, and I was like, yeah, like lifestyle photography, focus on the ambiance. And then he went into like the regular bubble tea server questions, and then he was like, what, like, how much do you want to be paid? And I was like, bitch, I don't know, like, ideally $16 or $17. And then he was like, oh, it depends on like what you do, like it starts at minimum, whatever. I'll just, this is a spam, but yeah, I'll just tell you the rest later. I think he liked me because it went on for so long, and he mentioned me having like a leadership role in the media thing, but it's not really like set up yet. So I don't really know if it's a scam and I'm just gonna be making bubble tea. And he's like, yeah, eventually you'll get to photography, because I don't know, he can only give me a straight answer about that because it's not set in stone yet. But I don't know, at least it's done.
Okay. Come on, Toronto. You got this. Going to Colosseum next. They'll probably stick with the Ash. I think. Diamond, thoughts? Or Diamond can ignore me. Breaks in the game are long and hard. And yes, pause on that. That is what she said. Long and hard.
longer sightlines allows for some of that Ash play, but Edison played quite well in that last map, right? Even like outplaying Isu at times. I think just like once that aggression starts to come in and you get those fights in the neutral, I think you know, if Isu's not that like huge impact, I think a lot of that's going to go Dallas's way. So I'm pretty worried about the Defiant going in this map.
Go on to Colosseo. Now this is the map that we saw the infinite stall by the Shock. Are we going to see 2 minutes and 40 seconds of no gameplay again? Or
I'm going to tell you exactly how long.
Okay, go on.
It's going to be a minute and 42 seconds.
A minute and 42. I'm writing this down. A minute 42. And 40.
Once we get past a minute and 42, it's fair game.
Okay.
The first
I like that.
42.
Yeah. And then a kill's going to happen. Who's going to get the kill?
Yep. Kill's going to happen.
Who's going to get the kill?
It is going to be Sparkle.
Sparkle's going to get the kill. Okay.
Yep.
Sparkle
He's gonna take
first
out
kill. Got it.
Twilight.
He's going to take out Twilight. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. This is a.
This is not a guarantee. This is not the realm of the Defiant making the Titans making the showdown. This is
not a Mac guarantee.
A little bit of a shot in the dark here, you know.
Right. Yeah. Well, I like.
I don't even remember how much time did I say? A minute 42 or a minute 47?
So you said. So you said a minute and 42. So the clock will have to be.
Yeah.
The clock will have to be 8:18.
I like
and then
it.
Sparkle
I like
will kill
it. I'm
Twilight.
going with it. I believe.
Okay.
I'm not backing down.
Make sure you count along with us at home. You're not going to back down. She says it wasn't a guarantee. So it's a win-win here, really. Or like you don't lose anything. So
Everybody in the chat just needs to just spam the numbers in seconds all the way until.
What? Just like a big countdown?
Yeah, like it's New Year's.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So you all have to count down from the 10 minutes to 8:18, 1 minute and 42 seconds, and then the first kill will come through, according to Matt. To Matt. We should start doing these, but like Preds on the desk, just like who gets the first kill. So like,
yeah, you know, who predicts the series is like, it's just too easy, especially for people like Danny and I who never get anything wrong.
Yeah.
Scott and Johnny need those easy predictions, right? But I think we've evolved. We've moved beyond that.
All right, let's see.
Look,
Let's go, Toronto. 3-2 win for Toronto. Let's go. Knock on wood.
by the others on the desk.
oh right, so he was kind of tricked because you weren't there.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that does make. Well,
Well, my prediction's wrong.
that is. Could be further from the truth. Could be
That
further
was
from
fast.
the truth. I mean, that was quick, but you did get Sparkle fighting the first blood, but it wasn't Twilight. It was the other support. So you know what? You're like
70% correct.
You're exactly, and that's all you need. That's it. So there you go, everybody. To be an analyst on the Overwatch League, you just need to be about 70% correct most of the time, and yeah, there you go.
70% correct, 100% of the time.
Exactly. That's the math checks out, honestly. But all right, well, with Sparkle's first blood, the Dallas Fuel are off to a decent start. But
I can't believe how fast that was.
Like it was a reflect. It surely was a reflect.
Yeah, it was. It had to have been. I was gonna say they couldn't have like gotten to an engagement any faster. For how fast it had to have been like a deflect from Isu, you would think, right? Like damage coming down. Yeah, that was. Here we go. This is what I was kind of expecting. Yep, I'll stand and hit the button. I'll run away. You hit the button.
All right, we're back.
Kind of back in.
I'm waiting for that 8:18. Does Sparkle get a kill at 8:18? That is the question. No, he gets Chorong again. Somehow. Chorong a little bit too far up. There we go. A hit by someone else. And then Sparkle finished the kill. All right, Dallas.
This is what you kind of worried about with. So, like, we have seen teams in the past, right? You can play like Hanzo here. We've seen, you know, in the beginning, but
okay.
Did he just kill him at the exact time?
He killed him. He killed Twilight. Sparkle killed Twilight at 8:18. Sparkle killed Twilight at 8:18. Matt was correct. Not necessarily about the first kill,
just missed
but
the first kills.
Dude,
I swear this isn't pre-recorded. Sure. So we were seeing teams play like Hanzo and some other like long-range hit scan on this map in the past, but with how much speed there is with these comps, like you can just get run down pretty quick.
Poor Houston.
Yeah, this actually don't know if it's going to work out here. I mean, you just see the tempo that Dallas is able to play at, right? So fast, get in their face. It's difficult for Toronto to like respond.
I mean, yeah, they just can't. They threw the bob in there to try and get a little bit of contest. And
He see it might be time to go Sojourn.
Decent, but the Dallas Fuel's tempo is just insane. And look, they might even get butt scratch mode here. Toronto Defiant is super far away.
Yeah, and I mean, if they challenge, they have the blade in their back pocket, right? A rally from Twilight. This is really kind of like move back. Yeah, you can use your rally. It's gonna last way longer for the fuel here.
Blade from Sparkle. Already pulled it, tried to force the support out, but little do they know, Toronto Defiant don't have another support ult to contend with, so...
I don't know if it was that. I actually think a little bit of a meme, but almost a little bit of a zoning blade. You're able to get some more progress with the bot here around the corner.
Speaking of zoning blades, jeez. Although got forced into that corner, had to receive heals while he was trying to deflect. Twilight trading for Sparkle. The rampage from Hopper should seal it. Yeah, Harbin and Shio antied, and there you go. The bot has been stopped.
Let's see, now Toronto's got a large hill to climb here, Jack. 84 meters for the Dallas Fuel. Toronto, this next fight is going to probably kick off like mid-map, right? Where you got all of the kind of brawly different compositions here set up. It's going to be tough, I think, for Toronto to win this fight.
Just beat engage.
See if Dallas Fuel just want to go aggro. They know Toronto Defiant don't have that rampage, so Hambe
Here we
can
go,
put himself in a nice
go.
position. Oh, the beat from
Nice
Toro.
boop.
Just a little bit
Oh,
too
but there
late.
goes
ends up going
Twilight.
down. Toronto Defiant at least can kind of kite back now, but without DPS, without support, you have to give up so much room, and you're even getting it staggered a little bit here too.
And they've already gotten the, that forward spawn, right? So they're not going to have the bot stop there again on this go-around, and you're going to have both support ults here. This is in the range of Dallas Fuel potentially getting like a full map completion. In the sense that, yeah, look, I mean, you're going to get the bot with the barrier to the bend here on this top of the bridge, and the bob here would be like easy to displace, right? There's a lot of spots you can like boop or knock the bob. You're gonna have
Chunky
to
dynamite
something happen here, yeah.
It's nice. That bob's in a decent position too. He's going to get a little bit focused, but still pumping out a lot of damage. Dallas Fuel have to use both support ultimates to try and push themselves over this bridge. The Toronto Defiant playing a little bit back. Rally up in 10%. They can hold here for the Dallas Fuel to maybe make a misplay, but it's looking a little bit the other direction, to be honest. Twilight and Hopper dead, although has the blade. If you push it out, it'll be a little bit of a waste considering the casualties on the Defiant side.
He's just trying to buy time. Stop that bot from moving forward. Just buy as much time as possible. You're going to come off spawn here. You're going to have a rally. You're going to have a blade as well. We'll see though. Like, it's going to be difficult because you can't like preemptively use the blade because there's so much speed from the fuel that they're going to be able to like disengage, right? So you're going to have to play pretty aggressive if you're although to get in position to use this.
Oh, there's the blade. Harbin, look at that massive axe swing. He's getting taken pretty low. He got healed up a fair bit from his adrenaline rush there. I think he hit 2 or 3 people with that axe.
It looked like 3, yeah.
Yeah. It is a substantial amount of healing. If you hit more than like 2 people, it goes kind of hard.
But ultimately though, Jack, the state of the game has not changed whatsoever because we're just going to get back to mid-map. And you're gonna have
Toronto
the same
might
roll
be able to
and
get first point
it's
and
just
make
gonna
this
result
close.
in the Dallas Fuel, like, if they're able to win
But
this,
it's gonna
getting
be hard.
more progress of their barrier. The Defiant need like 2-3 fights in a row here to get this one back, within a winnable state.
But they got a beat and a rampage to do it with. 3-man. Sparkle, Harbin, and Shio in trouble. Edison's still going to use that overclock. Sparkle does end up bleeding to death. No one there to resuscitate him, unfortunately. Dallas Fuel, they've lost 1, but still willing to fight. If Edison can find a nice little cheeky right click, they might be good. In fact, Hisu ends up going down. He's just positioning super aggressive, but the Toronto Defiant kind of use him as bait, and they're walking up and taking care of them. But another gigantic rampage, this time from Harbin. Charong and Twilight, as soon as your supports are hit by that
I don't
rampage,
know
you
how
have
we
minutes
lose
no
that.
left. 3
Dallas are just so good.
116 meters for fuel, and they have a blade.
You can play so free as well if you're the Dallas Fuel. because as you obviously spend more ultimates in some of these fights, the Defiant are in such a dire situation, but they need to as well. And worst case scenario is, maybe you kill a player later or so, and you come back into the Dallas field, you have a player advantage because the spawn is so far. Just a massive advantage getting this amount of progress early.
All right, Bob comes out, but Sparkle has already made a mincemeat of Defiance. Yeah, he's trying to get some space and just time to himself. That's what you want as an Ash, just space and time to do as much damage as possible, but Dallas Fuel making that an impossible challenge.
So now, come down to the wire. Thought this was one that it looked like the Dallas Fuel could potentially get all the way to the distance as Twilight gets really low.
Oh,
yeah.
Sparkle again, dude. He's been his arch nemesis this whole series.
Looks like Dallas are gonna full cap.
Not really aided by the rest of his team as they have to go for this touch. Sparkle finds 4 kills.
Yeah.
Right, and the Dallas Fuel will end up
GG's.
the points and taking the series 3-1.
So sad.
Really strong.
But some entertaining games today. You know, we were happy with Titans, and Defiant actually got a map, and that was good. That was good. Anyway, I will catch you guys on the flippity flop. Not sure when I'm gonna co-stream next, but yeah, have a good one. Peace out.